Right.
Oh, I love the way that he just knows. He knows that we're just going to go live.
Which is, well, that's what the time is for.
It's great. It's great. Hello, everybody. It's High Rollers Day! In the words of R2-D2, hello, everybody. Welcome.
I knew it was going to be this kind of day.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to High Rollers D&D. I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes.
No way.
A custodian of the British Library. But no, I am joined this week by we've got Trot and Rhiannon, and on the other side we've got Tom and Katie.
You won't think I won't. I'll do it.
Put him down.
No.
Sadly, we do not have Kim today.
He's got a toad.
We do not have a Kim today, but we're gonna try our best to carry on without our curmudgeonly friend.
Oh.
Be strong. Be strong for mother.
Be strong for mother, Clarence.
We can do it.
Listen, not just one,
Listen.
2 sponsors.
Oh
No.
my.
That we need to thank.
Oh
I know.
my, 2?
It's a double sponsor day.
Two.
Sunday.
Two.
Double sponsor. Thank you to our sponsors for this week. We've got Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, our good friends, as well as the Wandering Tavern. We'll tell you all about Idle Champions first. Our pals at CNE Games and Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms have 2 exciting things they wanted us to tell you about today. Now, if you don't know, and you should know, Idle Champions is a free idle game that features iconic heroes from Dungeons & Dragons lore, actual plays, including the Champions of Erois. And I've got my own character in there, Miria Elithrin, as well as other media. It's a really fun game. You can have running in the background whilst you do other things, with loads of references to D&D stuff and tons of collectible characters. They've teamed up with us for 2 things. Firstly, you can get yourself a free Gold Gale and Gold Penelope chest. Chest, who are both characters in their current Green Grass event until April 24th. Just use the code Altheya! 2024. Altheya! 2024.
Yeah, the hyphens.
You do have to break it down into those things, but you can see it on the screen, and it will be in.
Look at their art. It's always art.
Their art is always beautiful.
Yeah.
Secondly, though, they have a special promotion starting tomorrow from the 8th of April till the 15th of April. If you log into Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms via Steam, you will get a huge bundle of goodies, including 5 of the Baldur's Gate 3 characters.
Oh, wow.
Gale, Will, Lae'zel, Shadowheart, and Shadowheart and Karlach, our lovely friends. A special outfit for Gale, because he is the fanciest wizard. An exclusive Owlbear Club familiar, and not 10, not 20, not even 50, 80 chests! 80? That's a lot of chests!
That's a lot of chests!
Unbelievable, man.
Just for logging in on Steam!
Oh my god.
80 chests! That's like instant dopamine 80 times!
We've done it.
It's like opening 80 packs!
I have a remote into my PC.
But it doesn't start till tomorrow. Doesn't start till tomorrow,
Right,
8th of April to the 15th of April.
Oh my god.
You can get more information about this offer, as well as show them that we sent you, by going to the link in chat in the video description. It is rebrand.ly/Altheya. But it will be in the chat, it'll be in the video description. So yeah, not only can you get yourself a Gold Gale and a Gold Penelope chest by using the code Altheya! 2024, but you can also, if you log in from tomorrow onwards till the 15th of April via Steam, you get all those goodies. You get all the Baldur's Gate guys. You get Owlbear.
How many chests?
80 chests!
Wow!
Nutty.
Right.
I want that
Nutty.
old Gale outfit.
But
Did you say there was another
I did indeed, Sword Swallower Tom. There is another sponsor. Not just one, but 2. And this is thanks to the Wandering Tavern. The Wandering Tavern is a big TTRPG Kickstarter project featuring a Studio Ghibli-inspired and system-agnostic, aka you can use it in any setting, floating setting. It's been created by, and I love this name, Homie and the Dude. Homie and the Dude, which is a father and son team who have previously done other TTRPG RPG projects as well. Now, bet you have to give me a minute here because there's a lot of stuff.
Okay.
The Wandering Tavern is packed full. It's got a full setting history, 15 giant battle maps, 33 NPCs, 15 of which have 5e stats included, 30 plot hooks, 6 Zephyrs, aka airships,
Oh my gosh.
51 Zephyr parts and stations, 18 magic items, 7 illegal trades, 13 setting-specific recipes, 3 downtime games, 4 celebrations, unique spirit mechanics, and a quick start guide.
Oh
It's
my-
jam-packed.
Oh my
So
God.
much.
A few things.
I just
Just a
saw an
few things.
STL that I could print.
There is also STLs that you can print as well. I'm going to come on to that.
Crap.
Also, and this is an important one, the whole thing is 100% human created. No AI is involved with the project, which is something I'm personally very passionate about.
good.
Love to see it.
There is so much stuff packed into this project, and because it is usable in any system or setting, it's a great way to drop in fresh content to your games and add a super cool location bursting with mysteries, threats, plots, and opportunities for your players. The Kickstarter also has bundles with extras from collaborators, and Homie and Dude have even been working on their own builder application, which will help you put together vehicle stat blocks like those used for their Zephyrs.
Dude, that's rad as hell.
Wow.
That is rad as hell.
It's super cool. Check out the link in chat and the video description to take a look at the Wandering Tavern Kickstarter. And that is everything I have.
Wow.
And
wow.
also, to add to that, both of these sponsors are just very lovely humans.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice, and we love working with them.
Yeah, we love to work with them,
Yeah.
and I hope that you can go and support them.
Yep.
And support us.
Big shout out to Homie and the Dude.
Yeah.
Tune in, 75.9, Homie and the Dude.
Very lovely.
Yeah, very lovely. And big thank you as well to V, our friend over at Idle Champions of
Yep.
the Forgotten Realms as well. V's
Yes.
been amazing working
Yeah.
with us on a ton of cool stuff. So go and check out
for a
that.
long time now.
We've been working with
Yeah.
Idle Champs for a very long time. Like I said, you can get all the Erois characters.
Yeah.
Here's the what if you have all the Erois characters partnered up with the Baldur's Gate 3 cast?
Dream team.
Oh, what a dream team!
We'll have to find out what's up to the
Quill and Quill and Gale going on a little date.
Quail. Just saying.
Quail.
Apparently, in the current meta, Quill is strong.
Oh, Myria is very as well. Yeah, I think all of our
Lucius
characters
is
are very good.
pretty weak.
Ayla's good. I've heard that Ayla's really good.
Yeah.
I think
great.
Ayla, Sentry, and Myria, because they're like all quite tank heavy. It's
Yeah.
very strong front, and then you can back them out. Anyway, but that's it. 2 big sponsors. Thank you guys so much. Idle Champ of the Forgotten Realms and the Wandering Tavern as well. Go and check out those projects. Like I said, all
Please
of our
do.
links are in it. That does help us as well. If you actually go and check out the links, it says that we've sent you, and that's good for our metrics and stuff like that.
Yes.
Right, before we get onto the game, I also wanted to say a big thank you to everybody who came to see us at Insomnia last weekend, and another big thank you to Jennifer English and Aliona Baranova for joining us for our special Insomnia side quest. The events of the side quest, as we're calling it, are technically canon, but when exactly it takes place is kind of ambiguous and vague, and we'll kind of let you know. But also
Pick it up at some point.
yeah.
At some point.
At some point, like a side quest.
Yeah.
When we can get Jen and Aliona back?
Well, that was going to be my point as well, is Jen and Alien characters are now canon in Altheya, and just maybe they may return one day.
Oh, I love them. I hope so.
They are
they're
very
so
cute.
nice.
Oh, and you'll be happy to know that we just received the footage.
Great,
so we
that was
are able
going to be my next
put
point,
that
is
up
that
very
it
soon.
will be coming up on
Soon,
YouTube and
TM.
things like that. Soon, TM.
You missed out.
And then the last thing, and you're going to be sick of me telling you about this until September, because, of course, tickets are still available for High Rollers Live.
Yeah.
It's our live show on the 17th of September at the Adelphi Theatre in London. Good seats are selling quick, so if you can, try and book ASAP to secure yourself an awesome seat and come see us live in London for our very special own independent live show. It's going to be very epic.
We're going to make sure that you remember the 17th night of September.
Do you remember
That's a joke,
the
that's a joke.
17th night of
The
September?
next Kickstarter.
It's the High Rollers Live.
Delphi.
Pretender. I don't know. But yeah, that is it for all of the announcements. Thank you all so much. We're going to jump into the game. Thank you, Sam, for being on it with the cam cuts and the adverts and all the videos
Thank you,
as well.
Sam.
But yeah, we'll take it away, run the intro, and we'll get on with today's game. Hello and welcome back to Altheya the Dragon Empire. Our heroes have found themselves embroiled in a number of strange mysteries and intrigues within the town of Ashen Rest, as well as trying to navigate a myriad of curious characters that have taken an interest in them. The wealthy and popular Lamplighters Guild are connected to an infernal plot that involves using magical lights around the town to siphon negative emotions and transfer them to a planar realm of the Twin Pits, home to demons and devils. The abandoned inn the heroes were given as a gift by the Draconic Duke is haunted by the spirit of a murdered woman who cannot be laid to rest. These two events may be connected, and likely there are more secrets still to be discovered. As Rowan and Xanthius suffer from the effects of a curse gained when encountering the ghost, they have attempted to seek help from the local churches and temples. They also met with High Authority Eremia Willowthorn, an elderly halfling woman who has requested their help in solving the matter of the Lamplighters Guild. Just as they return to their haunted inn to discuss their next steps, Daisy grows suspicious of a messenger delivering a package, grabbing them as they attempt to move past. The guard's illusory appearance vanishes, revealing a green-skinned and bejeweled tiefling called Kalifris, a suspicious figure the heroes had encountered in the village of Burnell at the start of their adventures. You may now laugh.
Sorry, but it was the force that you threw it that
Just before the intro finished, Trop threw his Apple Pencil at me.
He didn't throw it. He launched it.
He launched it.
But he launched
had
it and
to
went,
go.
can you give it back?
Immediately, before it even landed.
For that entire recap, all I had was Rhiannon and Katie with their heads on the table, desperately trying not to laugh as I had to read through the recap.
I did a good job. I mean, we held
You did a
it right
very
there.
good job.
We
You
could
did
have
a
gone
very
away with
good
it.
job.
Could have gone away with it.
No,
you
I
had
can't
to open your
because-
mouth.
No, because
Gonna sneak.
But you know what, Tom, as well?
visualizing the throw.
The pen.
Yeah, it really went.
But also,
Arc. It's like,
I often talk about how I feel that High Rollers is such an authentic D&D experience.
it's the
And this is the kind of shit that other D&D shows wouldn't ever show you, right?
Cut this out.
They
think
cut
if-
all this out.
If someone said we have D&D at home and it was a picture of us, I wouldn't be insulted.
No, it'd be like, yeah, no, that's it.
We have D&D at home
You
and it's
throw
awesome.
pens at each other, you put crumbs in your mate's coffee.
come-
Oh no, that's
Shake the
fucked
dice.
up.
Yeah.
That was fucked up.
Can we
So-
stop there, please? It's still
really
too
raw.
soon. It's too soon for that.
So, you find yourselves out on the street in front of your haunted inn. Still currently the sign of the enticing devil out front.
We need to change
You
that.
should take that down.
Yeah, we should take that down.
Daisy has gone to grab this guard. Her hand passes through the guard's kind of uniform and is now gripping the forearm of the green-skinned, bejeweled, very fabulous-looking tiefling in this universe, Kalifris, who you've encountered before. And yeah, they just sort of go like, oh, hello again.
I immediately let go and go, nah!
They just sort of glance around. You do see them sort of glance behind them, almost looking up and down the street. And they say, well, you've ruined the surprise. I was hoping. Ophelia, you had been given this by the guard.
Is she out the door, like door open?
Yeah, she's like,
okay.
Ophelia is stood at the entrance to the inn. This guard came and said, like, oh, are you Sister Ophelia? Gave you the package and was happy to move on. And then you've seen the others interact, and that guard has now transformed into Kalifris. You've ruined it. I was going to leave. It was going to be very sweet.
Ophelia, don't open whatever that is. What have you delivered to us? Why are you here?
What do you think that some sort of threat or danger?
Well, we have been warned about you.
You were also just disguised.
By who? Those delightful sisters that came to see you yesterday?
Oh, you've been watching us too.
Yeah.
I meant to drop off my gift. And I couldn't do it yesterday when they were near. You've likely encountered that they wouldn't take too kindly to my business. But yes, you see their form kind of ripples again, and they take on a much more like muscular and masculine-looking form. Their muscles become more defined. They grow a few inches taller. Their hair shortens significantly, and you kind of hear like this drop in the voice. Yeah. So what's the problem? Why exactly are you so suspicious? I mean, open it. It's just a gift.
Our previous encounter with yourself didn't exactly go wonderfully.
Well, It went wonderfully on my perspective, but I understand that there might be some hard feelings, so that is why I thought I would make a little peace offering.
And if I open this, is anything going to happen? Are we going to owe you something for receiving such a gift?
You see like a little twinkle in the eye. Oh, I don't want to ruin the surprise. No, of course not. No, it's just a gift. There was a note inside to explain everything. Come now, I'm not that bad. I understand that, well, you helped me acquire something I needed last time. I thought that the very least I could do was to give you a little thank you.
We didn't help you.
You did.
Stole it.
Stole it from us.
You stole it from us.
You made things very complicated.
Now, do remember, I was there to reclaim something that belonged to somebody else. I was actually returning that artifact to its rightful owner.
And who would that be?
I told you, my client, the Baron.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? I want to know. It's really not a big thing, but I thought it might be a little token of my appreciation.
Gruff, what do you oh, she's passed away.
Rowan's looking through like...
Gruff is just stood there, arms folded,
Gruff wouldn't want
judging Kalifris.
open
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gruff would probably say something along the lines of, because I did speak to Kim about this. Gruff says like, hello, my name is Gruff, I'm from Claymore.
That makes sense.
I don't know,
checks that.
Yeah.
whatever it is, I don't trust it. I don't trust this one. But if you want to open it, it's up to you.
Ophelia, do you
I
want
won't have
me
any
to
part in it.
I won't have any part in
burden?
it.
If it's explosive or dangerous or fire comes out,
Oh,
I can
please.
withstand at least an initial blow.
Okay. It's no skin off my back.
Well, unless you turn around.
Unless I turn around and it blows me up
And it blows
in my
up.
back.
I just want to say, you're all my best friends, and if I die, I'll die happy. Am I dead?
You see what you see before. That card should be in the lid, that top piece. It should just sit in the lid.
For podcast listeners, we have an actual physical
Yes.
gift box. Open up. What is that?
Some sort of vial, a potion.
Very elaborate, very fancy looking potion vial.
Beautifully made.
With a little note.
Well printed.
I do like an Arcana check on the vial.
You can do an Arcana check. That won't reveal exactly what it is or what it does, but you'll be able to get a sense of what kind of it might be, if it is magical.
7, not great.
7. Difficult to tell. Generally, to learn an item's properties, you would need the Identify spell or somebody to tell you what it does. With your Arcana check, you don't get any immediate, sense of any kind of magic or, it's a potion. It could do a number of things.
It's just a nice bottle.
Yeah, it's
not-
very well made.
It's not like red liquid.
It's difficult to tell. The glass is tinted. The glass is tinted red as per the Fizz wrap.
This isn't the blood we were looking for last time, is it?
Feels like shaking it,
There's
like
a
tapping
note.
it.
It feels a little strange saying it in front of the person that's written this, but okay.
Delicately puts his hands over his has this very much more powerful frame, but the body language is still very sort of ambiguous, very flamboyant, and just sort of puts their hands over their ears, pretending that they can't hear. They absolutely can still hear.
To the brave and beautiful who helped me recover the Baron's property.
Well,
That's
thank
very
you.
nice, actually. Thank you.
Ophelia, don't be taken in by it. No.
I hope this gift, in brackets, which I give freely and without expectation of reimbursement,
Well, okay. That's,
smooths over any ill will between us. Kisses. K. And there's a little love heart on the K.
well, isn't that just
Just
delightful?
lovely. Great handwriting, too.
Thank you.
A potion.
Yes. One of the potions that I believe we were initially going to make a deal on. It is a potion of healing, a very rare and powerful thing. It's no small cost. But like I said, I wanted to make sure that there was no ill will between us. I see talented and beautiful individuals such as yourselves to be, well, I would be a fool not to maintain good relations with you.
Well, I suppose it seems somewhat beneficial our end as well. I imagine there's knowledge that you have that could help us.
Indeed. I mean, I am very familiar with many things, and whilst I do have my doubters and the people that don't trust my line of work, I am very well acquainted with matters all across this realm and others.
Can we keep the box?
Yes, you may keep this
Nice box.
It's a nice, it's a very nice box.
Put so many things.
You see Kalifris kind of shifts back, and now their clothing never changes, only their physical body, but it becomes more lithe and voluptuous, and the hair grows long and becomes more kind of femme fatale, as she now sort of leans into you, Ophelia, sort of comes up close and just kind of whispers, "It really is quite powerful, you know, darling. It's quite a gift."
And there's no catch, nothing in return,
No
just a
catch,
gift.
Just a gift, a thank you. Like I said, the Baron was very pleased that I recovered his property, and so I thought it only fair that you did assist me quite considerably, that you are rewarded.
I mean, we did do a very good job, didn't we?
We have already paid the cost of this, I suppose. It's just I wish we'd done so willingly.
Well, can't all have what we want in life, my darling.
No.
Would you like to take a look, Xanthias, Daisy?
I mean, I've seen potions of healing. I
You
guess.
have no potions of healing are very rare. This is
okay.
this is something we discussed before.
Yeah.
So like potions of vitality, which you guys have bought in the past,
Yes.
which kind of give you energy and temporary hit points. Those kind of replace your standard D&D potions. A potion of healing in this world. Now you guys don't have identify, but I'm just going to kind of let you guys know. Can you pass me the card, actually, Rhiannon?
Of course.
For the purposes of reference, like we can say that like, you know, somebody here can work out what this does.
Sure.
But normally you will need to start getting stuff identified, right?
I guess for
magic-wise.
different potions,
Yeah.
but this is a relatively standard.
So it's consumable. It's like everything else.
Sure.
It's very rare. It is.
Okay.
You drink it as a bonus action or as a reaction before you make a death saving throw.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
The user regains HP equal to 5 times their level. And may
okay.
remove any of the following conditions: bleeding, poison, dazed, paralyzed, blinded, slowed, charmed, frightened, or stunned. This is more like the classic kind of drink a healing potion, you are back in the fight properly,
Yeah.
rather than I got 6 hit points back. You know, this is meant to be, you drink it and you are well above half HP. You are like properly back in the fight at that point, right?
A potion that actually heals.
It is a
know.
potion that actually fully heals.
Yeah.
But like I said, these are very rare. You will not get these very often. At the same time, I'm not going to give you another one until it is spent. Like, if you won't be able, unless you can find the ingredients, you might be able to find ways to make them, for example,
Right.
or something like that. But you're not going to get like a random treasure potion of healing whilst you have one in stock. So think
Yeah.
about that. It's a little bit metagaming,
drink it now.
but I want to encourage you guys to like not just hold on to it forever. Like, if
Yeah.
you're in a position where you're like, "Fuck, we really need to use it,"
Yeah.
because then you'll be able to get more in the future, right?
Cool.
But that's
Can we
it.
give it to other people as well?
You can.
it an
It's an action to feed it
Sure,
to somebody
yeah.
else, like same as normal. But bonus action to drink yourself.
Okay.
All right. And also, like I said, if you have to be the one carrying it to use it as that reaction when you fail a death, just before you make a death saving throw. So this is that idea of like that heroic moment, right? You're on the ground, you're bleeding out. Oh, my friends are in the fire. I'm dying. And then you come back in. Because remember, you do death saving throws at the start of your turn. So if you drink this as a reaction, it means you immediately get to take the rest of your turn.
Oh, that's a nice way of doing it.
Very cool.
Do we
So
know
it's
how
that.
much this thing is potentially worth?
A lot of gold.
A lot of gold.
A lot of gold.
More than we've, like... Okay, just
You
a
would
lot.
be talking like thousands of gold.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. They're very, very rare. If you want to sell it, you can sell it. Like, obviously, you can do with it what you wish.
and this is an authentic, real...
Yes. Oh, sorry. She's like, yes, of course it is.
Okay.
Well, I see it as this. It's in my interest to make sure that we have an opportunity to work together in the future. And what better way to show that than something that might come in handy should one of you be in mortal peril?
And where did this come from? Did you purchase this? Does this come...
I have a supply of things like this, darling. I told you before, I'm a broker. I broker in goods, in items, but also information, and I've amassed a collection of little trinkets and gifts that I've been given and sort of things like that. And she's, the whole time, Kalifris is kind of like, almost like curling around Ophelia, like as she's even talking to the rest of you. Like she's almost kind of, not like touching you, Ophelia, but getting very close and sort of purring, like as she moves around you, sort of dances around, like very gracefully. And is very obviously not being flirtatious, but is being playful with you specifically, because you're the one who reacted to being called beautiful. Like she's almost like gone, okay, yeah, great.
A weakness. Let's go.
Yeah, like, but it's definitely like kind of like gesturing to, like looking towards the others as well. Is ignoring Gruff. Like Gruff is just like, don't trust her. Like you know, folded arms. Is just ignoring Gruff, and is currently like looking at the four of you. Well, I can't stay for too long. Obviously, I don't want to be found out by any of your new friends.
We were asked
if
to inform them the moment we encounter you again.
Well, then I must make a very dashing exit, surely. Unless you wanted to maybe keep this a little secret.
Keep one little secret.
Just one, Xanthias.
And what do we get out of keeping one little secret?
My friendship.
And what does your friendship
Why
get
do you
us?
Why do you want to work with us in the future? On what?
I don't know. Opportunities come by my door, darling. There might be something where maybe I need some strong, strapping individuals to come and...
Am I strong?
Yes. To come and help
pretty
me
strong.
recover something, or maybe help me find something, or protect me if I'm being endangered.
I think you can look after yourself.
I'm good at certain things. I'm not good at everything. Who is? That's why it's great to have friends, isn't it? You see them kind of shift again, and they take on that more non-binary, androgynous kind of persona. Well, now, if there was anything that you needed my help with, you would need to, if there's anything that, you know, my services, if there's anything I can be an assist with, or anything you think I should know, now's the time. I'm not going to be sticking around here for too long, not with those ecliptic order ladies wandering around.
Do we let them know? We do have an issue.
We do.
So I've heard about this business with the Lamplighters Guild. Awful. Ugh.
No, it's
Quite a mess.
it's the curse of this place that we've inherited.
Ooh, a curse.
Quite nasty.
Curses can be. Ooh.
Curse of harrowing
A curse of harrowing.
on two of us.
I've heard of it. Curses aren't really my thing. I might know someone that I could put the feelers out for.
It's okay. We've got some.
We've got
leads.
avenues. We have avenues.
All right, but if you want me to, I can look into it. But
Do you know any good contractors or builders?
well, I do, but I don't think
I
quite
look
for the
over at
Monday.
a shutter falling off.
The contacts I know for that sort of thing, they're the sort of more... If you were building something magical or something like that, then yes, I certainly would know people. I know a few Gelabdur and elementals
I
who can
heard
help with those
broken.
things.
Maybe you had like a supply of timber or...
I don't really deal with the mundane, my big strong friend. Big Green. I don't really have those sort of mundane contacts. If you wanted to build some sort of wizard's tower, or you wanted a magic basement that can be blocked off or something like that, yes, I know people for those sorts of things,
Shrine?
but... I could certainly, it depends. If you wanted your shrine to have some sort of innate magical nature to it, yes. Perhaps you wanted something, I don't know, from, the Greylands or something like that. I might know a few people who can do something with that.
How did you know that?
The Greylands? Well, I told you I'm a broker. I deal with... He, looks around, almost playful.
Who else knows about the Greylands?
Not many in Altheya. Not many in the Empire, I should say. But those of us who investigate the planar realms are certainly familiar with it. I have a contact who I do business with from time to time. I told you I'm a broker. I broker relics, information, magical essences.
What about the Lamplighters? Does your connection have something to do with the evil?
Oh, are you suspicious of me,
Yes.
little one? Oh, I love it. No, I've got nothing. No, they're nothing to do with me. I've heard some rumors, but they're nothing. Not my business.
What rumors have you heard?
Oh, that they're just the things that you've been dealing with. There was some attack. It's maybe some sort of demon or devil or some such. Only really what I've learned from finding out where you were, so I could give my gift. But no, I'm afraid that I've not any business with them. I'm afraid.
Nothing going on in the Twin Pits?
Oh, I didn't say that I don't have anything going on in the Twin Pits. I have lots of contacts all over the planar realms, but not with regards to your little problem. Now, I could try and find something out for you, but that would be a work matter, and we would need to talk fee and contract and all of that sort of business. Oh, don't be so suspicious. I'm not a devil. I'm not going to lock you in some infernal contract and trick you.
I honestly thought you were. Dan.
No,
My apologies.
I'm from here. I'm from Altheya.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. I'm a tiefling, but I've made my deal with another planar being. But I'm not some devil. I'm not in league. I don't conjure up contracts that are meant to trick you or deceive you. I am a businessman, a business person. I deal, give and take, that sort of thing. That's all it is. Think of me as a courier, a gatherer.
A thief?
A commissioner. No, thief. I'm not a thief. I might know a couple of
Literally
thieves.
stole from us just recently.
Now, is it stealing if it didn't belong to you? I don't think it counts. That was the Baron's property, and I told you before you went into those mines what my purpose was. Now, yes, did I turn invisible and follow you? And yes, did I take the thing from
Steal.
you?
You stole
well,
it!
yeah,
You
well. He kind of like gives you a little sort of like, well.
What did you get from the Baron for you to so willingly give us a quite expensive and rare potion?
The Baron and I have an ongoing arrangement. Like I said, he's one of my main clients.
And who have you made a deal with? What planar entity have you made a deal with?
That's quite personal. Make a persuasion check for me, Daisy. With disadvantage, because you're being a bit hostile.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Get ready for
Forgot to do.
get ready for like a
as well.
45. Oh.
8. You wouldn't have spent a fate point on that, would you? I don't think. No. He says, and you see for a moment, and I don't think this needs to be an insight check. I think like Gruff and a few of you have got it. A moment of seriousness for the first time kind of flashes over Kalifris. That's a rather personal story. Maybe if we were better friends, I would tell you it, but...
It could go a long way to making us trust you more if we knew who you were associated with.
I will tell you this. My deal is with one of the nobles of the primordial islands, the primal islands. An elemental. And you can see that whilst Kalifris is like a green-skinned tiefling, their horns have this very rocky appearance to them, and they're decorated in lavish jewels and gemstones. And anybody can make an Arcana check for me.
Sure. What is this?
This is like planar knowledge, so... But anybody who's got proficiency in Arcana can make a roll.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't.
Oh. I got a 12.
12.
I've got
I-
efficiency, so
Do you not have a proficiency in it?
no.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask Nim?
Yes. In fact, I'll come to that in a minute because Nim will absolutely have an answer for that.
Okay.
12?
Yes.
It's pretty obvious to guess, given the fact that Kalifris has told you that they've made some sort of deal with an elemental plane, an elemental plane being a primal islands being. Judging by the rocky appearance of their horns and the gemstones, likely some sort of earth genie, like a Dao or something like that.
Okay.
They're generally the sort of senior or more powerful earth elemental figure, like some sort of powerful earth Dao.
Right.
They are the sort of earth genies, basically.
Okay.
And Nim basically tells you the same thing, Daisy, as well. Like, judging Dim would tell you the Primal Isles have the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, and air. There are, very much like your draconic nobles, there are a dozen different nobles and barons and baronesses and counts and countesses of that elemental land. It is likely this tiefling has made a deal with one of the powerful earth genies of the realm.
What are the Primal Islands?
Well, my dear, you know the Grey Lands being one of the planar realms associated with the dead and death. The Primal Islands are that of elemental forces: fire, earth, wind, water. They are born a sort of, I wouldn't call it a sea as such, but they are kind of disjoined by a realm of force. And they war with each other. They war with the other planar realms, but they are also known as traders and diplomats and emissaries. We do a lot of business deals.
Oh, fascinating.
Yes. And that is why I'm in the business that I am. One of my services that I perform for my patron is that I help facilitate these deals. And through that, I've built a network of connections, and I know lots of people, and that is where I met the Baron, and so forth and so forth, and I do services for them. So and so.
That makes sense.
Yes, indeed. I suppose it is like being a courtier to one of the draconic lords here, or somewhere from your homeland. Perhaps I'm sure you have courtiers,
yes.
assistants to nobles, and things like that. Yes.
And how often do you use people like us as tools to get to your goal?
Well, that's a very strong wording, Xanthias. Tools? Using people? No. I make business deals. Nothing I would do with you if we were to work together in the future. I would make sure that there is some beneficial, mutual benefit to us both. You get something, I get something. You get information, I get information, that sort of thing. That's the way that it works. That's how trading is done. It's give and take, supply and demand. But very often I work here in the Dragon Empire. I work with planar beings. It's mainly wizards. Oh, they're always after something from the planar realms, a mote of elemental fire, blood from the Grey Lands, from a vampiric count, or who heavens knows, some of that material they have in the Lucent Peaks that the Celestials use all for their spells and weapons and that sort of thing. Somebody's always after something, and I usually know someone who can get it or knows where to get it or some such. And sometimes people want information, magic spells, rituals, that sort of thing. So if there was something you wanted to help with your little Lamplighter's problem, I could try.
Are you looking for something at the minute?
Am I looking for something? No. I'm going to take a little bit of time just to figure out what I want to do next. I've not any emergent orders or anything like that.
Okay.
Yes.
If we did want to find you, how would we? I suppose we just call out your name in the middle of the road.
I wouldn't do that, especially not here. Well, that's just it. I mean, I was going to leave it to fate to see when we next intervened. I don't really have a way for you to contact me again, so if there is something, I suggest you think of it now. This is a sort of limited time offer until I leave. Unless you find in the future, there are things such as sending spells. You can send those. You know me now. If you have access to that spell, you can always try and contact me if you want it.
Trying to remember the quest log.
It was get something material from both of the twin pits to see which
piece of fellite.
Piece of fellite to see which one it was.
Yeah,
that
Blackwing could be able to make a device that will track any lights that have been affected by this enchantment.
Which Daisy knows and has told people, but doesn't want to bring it up or work with Kalifris. So.
And you don't have to.
Yeah, no, I'm just
the
trying to remember.
information from the quest log is with you.
Yeah, well, for that quest.
Yeah, and then the Lamplighters, you have dinner tonight. And then there's also any personal stuff. This is like, if one of you wants to be like, can I have a private word, you could. Sorry. But yeah, Kalifris, they morph ever so slightly, this time taking on sort of like shorter, almost like coming down to like daisy height. Their hair kind of gets moved up. They bring their hands up, almost forming it into sort of like two twin-tailed kind of like hairstyle. But their form is still very lithe and thin and small, not like the voluptuous femme fatale, but this time just more sort of dainty. Well, I don't have all day.
Are you, you want us to keep a secret about you from the Inquisitors? Are you scared of them?
Oh, I wouldn't say scared. More that I think you would be inviting a lot of trouble on yourself as well. Because then they're going to try and track me down. They're going to ask you where you saw me, what you know. They're going to think that we've done a deal if you say anything to them. And yes, it's trouble for me. They're going to start trying to find me and all of that. And it's just troublesome. I mean, look, I get it. They're worried about the souls of mortals, yada, yada, yada. I'm fine. I've accepted my deal. I know what's going to happen to me, and I'm cool with it. And isn't that my choice?
I suppose.
Can't argue with that.
I'm like, there's so much that I'm so close to saying that will almost eke into them giving me information, and therefore I now owe them.
Do we want to have a private word, perhaps?
Between all of us?
Well, they'll hear us anyway, so.
We've tried
If you
this before.
want, you can go in your little haunted inn. I will give you 5 minutes before I leave.
Okay.
All right. They cast a spell and disguise self themselves again to look like that courier that they were before. And they go over, they cross the street. In fact, they go to a latte fun. They wander down. They'll be like, the guard says, the courier's like, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And then just goes to the little cafe.
Okay. Oh, well,
Giving you 5 minutes.
a powerful ally for sure. But
A very charming ally as well, I must say.
Can we workshop Big Green as like a nickname?
I love that. I thought that was
pretty good.
I want to, as
I like
Tom,
that.
go back and play the non-canon card. That did not happen.
What?
Big Green.
No. Kalifris 100% called him Big.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real now.
Green Giant. What about that?
Maybe.
Jolly Green Giant.
Green Giant.
I love corn.
Small yellow vegetables.
Yeah. Anyway,
Be honest, how much does anyone trust this person?
Oh, not with the not with the
Not at
age
all?
of my life. No.
No, we wouldn't ask
If
them
we
for
did-
any information.
If we did a deal with Kalifris when Gruff wasn't here, Kim would be so mad at us.
No, I know. This is a message I had from Kim. Kim specifically said, and I can roleplay this as Gruffith. They can do whatever they want their characters to do. Gruff will just not be part of it, but he will also, not be mad at them. He's like, it's their choice to do what they want. So Gruffith says exactly that. Like,
Won't be mad
you
at
can
me.
do what you want. If you think that that tiefling has got good information and can give us anything useful, but I'm not going to be part of it. I'm going
Got
to...
a little bit of freedom. I think we should ask Kalifris to kill Gruff. She's okay with it. She's okay with it.
well, looking at the facts of what we have, I also don't fully trust them. Although they are very kind and complimentary, which is lovely to hear.
They have a way of
Could
getting
never
onto
get
your
enough.
good side, sure.
Either way, we don't have any connections with the Twin Pits or anything like that, and I have no idea where we would acquire metal from there. So, unless we have any better leads, this is currently our only one.
Even if we were to get that, though, how would we then tell people how we got it? Here's some
We don't have
stuff from the Twin Pits, and we've discovered that this is what's powering the things.
I can't imagine Blackwing cares too much.
Blackwing
Seems
doesn't
quite
care. It's more the
indifferent.
Inquisitors I'm scared of. They're already
I'll put it in my
asking
loot.
a lot of questions.
What?
I'll
and-
put it in my loot. It's hollow.
Well, sure,
No one
but
ever looks in the loot. I've got so many snacks in there.
either way, let's say
Oh my god.
It really fucks with the sound, though.
Been holding
Right.
out snacks?
A lot of them I forgot that they were there. And
Oh, gross.
they're not good anymore.
I was going to say the loot starting to
Is it?
Stink.
yeah, should clean it out.
I'll restring it and get it out.
You should.
I thought it was just sweaty. No, it's food.
I put meat in there. And,
Meat?
yeah. Anyway, we got 5 minutes. Come
Okay,
on.
right. Well,
Focus.
if we need hard evidence against the Lamplighters in order to assist the Inquisitors with their investigation, I don't think getting any materials from Kalifris is going to help us at all. We'll need to declare where we found it, how we found it, who we got it from. And they've already said they do not want us dealing with Kalifris. I don't think we can work with them, at least on this regard. If there's anything someone else wants from them,
No, I can't say. I don't want to taint any of this.
what?
No, carry on.
Don't say that and then just not say it.
I nearly
That's
said no. I
worse.
just couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
What?
The only you are assuming that you can trust the Inquisitors.
True. Yeah.
Well, I don't. But what I'm saying is I don't want to get on the bad side of the Inquisitors as well by association of dealing with Kalifris.
Well, look at it this way. I guess the worst thing that could happen if we get on the wrong side of the Inquisitors, we get kicked out of Ashen's Rest. We maybe get put in prison. If we get on the wrong side of Kalifris, we could be in the hands of some sort of infernal being that they're sworn to. I don't know, this astral presence that they've sworn their service to.
The Elemental, yes.
The Elemental. Who knows what could happen if we get on the wrong side of them? So
what are we stuck? Are you saying we have to deal with
I'm saying
both of them?
Well, I'm just saying that's where it lies, I suppose. In that regard, it's like prison or
Maybe
hell.
we don't make a
Or
decision
none.
today.
Or none. We don't have to make a decision, exactly. We don't have to say yes immediately.
Yes. Let's see if our leads can get us anywhere first. As in none of them, but we can do other things for now.
Okay, it's just
He
we
really
don't.
wants it.
Well, no. If any,
I'm going to clarify as well. If you don't ask Kalifris for help now, they're leaving. They're going to leave town. You might encounter them again in the future, but that's going to be down to fate. It's going to be down to
yeah.
just luck if you're in the same place, or if you can get hold of a sending spell and you can, you would have to try and find a way to contact Kalifris or hope that you bump into them again. If you don't ask for them for something now, which is totally fine. If you're just like, nope, we don't want anything to do with you, then that's fine. They leave.
Well, at the very least, we
Okay.
can't get the material from the Twin Peaks from Kalifris. That will
What
not work.
if we instead ask for a method of getting us to the Twin Peaks
I
instead?
don't. No.
Nim is like,
Twin
No.
Peaks.
don't. You just hear like a no in your mind, Daisy.
If you do that, I can't come with you, and I strongly encourage none of you to go there.
Oh,
The devil we fought was bad enough. The demon, devil, shadow figure.
Yeah, imagine that, but times like more than you can even think of. The number doesn't exist. It's so big. That much.
that does sound pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Okay.
No.
Or maybe, as all I'm trying to suggest is instead of getting the thing that the Inquisitors would question us about,
Yes.
is instead, go
The
some way.
means of
Yes.
how.
Yes.
That's a very valid line of thinking.
We could. They're investigating the devices that we gave them anyway. What if they discover that we can say that Nightwing looked at it because they know Blackwing? They told us already. Well, we told them that we'd spoken to them, so we can say they suggested it was from the Twin Peaks, and then we have passed the information on to the to the city, to the woman, and the Tekis,
Yep.
and the Scary,
Yeah.
and we can go, here's the information, wash handies, Haunted Inn.
So I'm trying to piece together. You're saying not to deal with Kalifris at all.
Well, I'd prefer not to, because I just feel like we're probably going to get screwed over massively.
Okay.
Given that they already stole from us, and they're denying stealing from us, but they definitely did steal from us because they were invisible.
But this
And
is
stole
very
it.
nice, though.
It's
They didn't have to.
extremely rare.
They didn't have to come back and give
Yes,
us
but
this.
it's a trick. It's a big trick.
But think about
It's real.
if we, for example, went down the path of returning this artifact that was stolen from us to the Baron ourselves. What reward could we have gotten from that? They had taken from us, and that's the scrap we've been given.
We didn't know that the Baron was even part of this.
No, true, but it's an opportunity that was stolen from us. So in that case, they did steal something.
I wouldn't say so.
Our future.
Yeah, we wouldn't have, yeah.
I'm in disagreement.
Okay.
I think
Respect.
Kalifris was just doing a job. And
By stealing.
Without Kalifris, there would have been no Baron in our minds at all.
no.
All it was is us trying to find an artifact and
I know.
save the town.
I'm just trying to find a way to make it sound like they're a thief.
They are a thief.
And a scoundrel.
You sound like
They are a
Kalifris.
scoundrel.
And a
Dancing your words, your
and a
magical
feckless
words around
dullard,
us.
frankly.
A dullard!
A feckless dullard.
I think there are two things Kalifris is not, and they are both feckless and being a dullard.
They are full of feck.
They are full of feck, and they are not, and they are very witted.
Riddled with feck.
All right, so we need to.
I also don't want to get on the wrong side of the Inquisitors, more so than we already are.
I don't want to swear loyalty to a being that I feel like I would be doing the Grey Father a disservice.
You hear a sort of,
Oh, okay.
and you see the courier is like outside holding his little coffee.
Quite good, isn't it?
The courier looks at it and says in Kalifris's voice, which is a little strange because it's such a different voice. It's just like, yes, the delightful lady who served it to me was rather wonderful. Delicious. So, have we come to a decision?
It's very difficult.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean it to be. It should be
know.
quite simple.
We're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and often I like to be stuck between rocks. But in this instance, the rocks mean something else. This is an analogy.
Yes, no, you've got this right.
You're doing very well, Rowan.
Yeah,
Keep going.
You've got this right.
Usually I do this to song.
I'd be very happy to be stuck between a rock and a hard place, but that's just
I'm sure
me.
you would. I love rocks.
I'm gonna pick up like a pebble from the floor and
My
just
point
give it
is-
to Rowan. Hold that, it might help.
Comfort pebble.
Grounding
Comfort pebble.
You know our situation. We have Inquisitors
bit,
breathing down our neck, and they're very scary. You're
Yeah.
very scary, and your dealings are scary.
I'm scary?
Well, not necessarily you, but the words that come out your mouth and the Baron that you
honeyed
deal
words?
with. They're lovely and sweet, but sometimes beneath the sweet surface lies sourness.
Oh, no, my dear, no. Nothing but sweetness, sugar and honey and cream.
Okay,
Are we sure are we doing the right thing?
that sounds nice.
Yeah, are we doing the right thing? I feel like
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, it seems like you're so conflicted.
I'm so confused, Rowan.
Inquisitors on this side, if we deal with you, we have to deal with them.
Do you? Why?
Because they're inquisitive.
Well, it is what they do.
It's in their name.
Well, yeah, well, but who says that they've got this other problem to deal with? Why do you think that they're going to... What, you think they're going to come look into your minds to try and track me down, or...
I suppose.
I'm sure you're all clever
I
at...
think they would do exactly that,
Well,
actually.
but you know that, so just avoid them.
I got
Why
on their
would you have
bad
to
side
be-
by giving them a blessing.
Oh, well, then even more reason for you to avoid them,
They've also
surely.
scoured my mind as well.
Well, then there you go. Even more reason for you not to deal with these horrible individuals. Invasive, plying into your minds and taking offence at your blessings. Why would you want to deal with them?
They did take offence at my blessing. It was goodwill.
Avoid them.
You could just avoid them.
It
I'm so confused, Anthea.
It sounds like, my friends, it sounds like there is something you would like me to do, but you're worried about these Inquisitors being involved. Why not just ask me what you would like me to do? I will tell you what options there might be, and then you can decide.
Give us 30 seconds.
Oh, you're pushing it, but all right.
We could just ask them about the material. Like, we don't. What do we do? The only thing they could reasonably help us with is this Twin Peaks metal.
Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks.
I've
got it. Twin Peaks. It's
Not
got
Twin
it.
Peaks.
Twin Pits.
From the Lucent.
Twin Peaks.
Wait. Twin Pits, Lucent Peaks. That's where I got it mixed up.
The Twin Lucents.
Yeah.
The Lucent Pits.
Lucent Pits. My favourite show. Got a light.
Light.
if we had this material, how would we possibly explain away how we found this thing?
We avoid them.
We can't avoid the Inquisitors.
Why not?
You said that's what they do. They inquisite.
Kalifris said we can.
We can't. They know what we are. They know
also
who we
talk to
are.
the Duke.
Yes.
I'm really mad at it.
Xanthias is quite good.
Thank you. I am.
They saw straight through one of my lies.
If I may,
That was not 30 seconds. Go on.
it sounds like that there is something that I could help you with. Now, if this thing is for this Lamplighter problem, which I kind of take the assumption that it is, if you were to provide a thing which could help resolve it, and you were to say, rather than going to the Inquisitors, take it to your Duke, take it to the authorities and those sorts of things, surely they would be pleased with the result, and perhaps the details of exactly whom and what and where, those could be sort of nudged to the side, sort of ends justify the means, that sort of thing. And then the Inquisitors would be sort of left in a hot spot, wouldn't they? Just a suggestion. Just a little suggestion, I suppose.
That's very good. It's very good.
Seems to work.
The sweet words. This is what
Honey and cream.
I do like honey
So
and cream.
hungry. I'm gonna look in my food for some snacks.
You just see that, like, you know, sort of examining their nails, Kalifris will look at you, Ophelia, and just, like, runs one down their lips, like, as they say, the, like, honey and cream.
Ophelia blushes.
And then just the tail kind of swishes and looks back to Xanthias and Daisy. Oh, getting so tired. Really must be going. I don't know how much more time I can spend.
I think we should do. Okay, since we are undecided, I think probably the safest course of action is probably to say no for now. Perhaps, unless Xanthias, you're making a face. Xanthias, you're making a face.
How else are we going to get it?
We may never see Kalifris again until fate,
Until fate brings us together once more.
and we lose
knows
an
how long that'll
opportunity. We have to acquire a material.
What material?
It's a material from a place that we are not going to disclose as of yet.
I would need some information. I need to know what, and so I can think about where I might be able to obtain it, or
And the
information
price.
about it. And there would be a matter of fee, but we can talk about that later.
I glance at Gruff.
Gruff just folds their arms. I've said all I will. I'm going to go upstairs.
Daisy's going to go and stand next to Gruff and fold her arms.
Come on.
No, it's
Come on,
happening
you,
again.
let's
These decisions are so
Oh,
tough.
they are.
I'll stay down here to make sure I know what happens, Gruff. I'll tell you.
All
But
right.
I'm firm against it.
You're firm against it. All right. So yeah, Gruff is going to leave the room so that there's not the sort of intimidating, like, Gruff angle. Also, because Kim said that
Daisy
Gruff
doesn't
would
look intimidating in any way, shape, or form.
But
she's firm because Nim is against this and has disagreed with this person. So Daisy is like, nope, I can't because.
But Daisy,
Nim
how
gets
else
bad
would we
vibes.
get this thing that we're looking for?
I don't know. I'm just that's you do what you want. I'm just gonna stand here. I'm just gonna.
we're just talking. We're just talking. Xanthias, what are you after? Tell me. If I might not even be able to get it, whatever it is that you're so worried about, I might not be able to obtain it. This might all be for nothing.
It's a kind of metal from my place.
What was that big green?
Just a little.
It's
It's a good name, isn't it? We need to go.
it's
and
a
claim it.
particular metal.
I'm coming up with nicknames for all of you, by the way.
Really?
Oh no.
Looks
So-
over at Daisy. Little Ruby.
Well, I simply must
No.
know.
My wonderful bloodstone.
Excuse me a minute. Ophelia just turns around. Percival!
Percival shuffles over.
Ophelia screams into Percival's robe.
Percy's quite hollow.
He's got a bucket of water.
Echoes.
Amplifier.
Even louder than it would have
It comes out of his mouth.
Just echoes through the bones.
If we were to use your talents in acquiring a certain metal from the Twin Pits.
Ferrite.
The ferrite, indeed.
Do you know which of the two pits you need it from? It does differ.
Oh,
Hang on.
Out of character, we would need a bit from both
both.
to find out which pit is involved. That's how we need to do it.
Yeah, it needs to be the same. It needs to be the matching
bit
type
from
to whatever
both.
they're using, whichever energy it's connecting to.
we need to assess one of each.
So you would need it from Diablos and the other as well. Very good. Does it matter size, quantity? Are we talking a small amount? The answer is that it only needs to be it doesn't need to be
It's
a large
just
amount.
for research.
Do we actually need both?
Yep, you do.
We need to figure
It
out.
would be a 50-50 gamble.
But if we got it
If you got the wrong one, it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't work.
well, yeah, exactly.
Then
but
you
then
know
we,
it was.
But then you wouldn't be able to
Yeah, we
track
wouldn't
the
be able to
lights or
track it.
anything
right,
like
of
that.
course.
Like
Yeah.
the thing that Blackwing thinks they can build would almost be like a compass, like a detector,
Yeah.
that you can be like, this light's got the same enchantment on it. But also it might do more than that. It might just detect the presence of that magic. Do you know what I mean?
so yeah, we do need both.
Kalifris will, they drop the disguise self at this point. Fellite is difficult to acquire here. The demons and the devils, the fiends protect it, and the Helion throne protects it quite severely. It is used in all of their weapons and armor and their various machinery, but I do know where you could acquire some. I wouldn't be able to get it for you, but I know where you could acquire it, and I could help make arrangements.
So there is some in Altheya.
Sort of. I know an arms dealer. She was a former succubi that was... The succubi are sort of the favoured of the Helion throne. They're one of the few fiends that can journey between the two pits, and they act as emissaries and spies and assassins. This one, well, her ambition was a bit too much, and she tried to make a play for the Helion throne itself. The throne did not like that very much, so she was punished and cast out. So she's now become sort of an infernal arms dealer. She trades with other planar realms and indeed mortals here in Altheya, trading with devilish and demonic weaponry. I know some places that she does business here, but they are demiplanes, but they are connected to points across Ilmera and the Dragon Empire. So I could, and I know a few people that work with her, I could set up a deal between Venmira and some other third parties, say that they want to buy some fellite, maybe some other things. Then I could tell you where they were going to meet, help you get there, and then you could take things that are a threat to ordinary people and make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands. You could steal them, is what I'm saying. You could steal them from the bad people. And don't believe me, I'm not playing a game here. Venmira is awful. She is one of the worst. Whatever she's trading to whomever, it will not go well for anybody else. You would be stopping bad things from happening. I assure you of that. Bought by assassins and thieves and mercenaries and thugs, that sort of thing. You definitely wouldn't be doing anybody innocent any harm, I'll tell you that. But the only place I know where we could arrange this meeting, I would have to teleport you there. It's in the Suncrest Isles, but I could teleport you back.
Now, do we want to enrage yet one more person?
Do you say that in character as...
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well, that is something you will need to consider. Venmira is, she has individuals. She works with a number of people, and if she found out that you and I did this, it would be bad for all of us. But you don't get very far in life without making the odd enemy. If it does sweeten the pot a little, I imagine that it would not just be this fellite. You might be able to acquire yourself some substantial wealth, some relics, enchanted items, scrolls, that sort of thing as well. If you're going to go about investigating things and meddling in affairs, it would be wise for you to make sure that you are well funded, and this would be an opportunity to do so. Dangerous, but an opportunity.
I can't help but feel a little concerned.
That is the only thing I can think of, the only way to obtain some fellite without... I mean, sure, give me months, years, maybe I could acquire some, but in a pinch, this is the only way I can think of.
I don't like the idea of stealing, regardless of where it's from.
Very well. If it's a no, I'll take my leave.
I personally don't feel well suited for a
Heist.
heist.
You could see it as a heist or a smash and grab. Bust in, kick a few fiends in the face, some thugs, grab what you can, get out. But it's up to you. It's your choice.
I do feel like the risks are potentially too high.
And risk mitigation is a big part of this business. If this is not to your favour, then we will simply part ways and hope that we encounter one another once again. But this is the only thing I can think of. And I would need to know now if you wish to go ahead with it. I'll need to make arrangements. I'll need to meet with you tomorrow to teleport you there.
Daisy, I think this is probably best a question for you, since we're less likely to be the ones sneaking around, picking up objects, getting away without anyone spotting them.
Well, it's not all on me.
Well, it's not all on you, no, but I'm just saying you'd be the best at it.
Well, I don't really particularly want to go to a demiplane when there's lots of fiends and horrible things.
So a no? A no's good. A no is fine. No's good. I'm not putting it all on your shoulders. If I'm honest, I'm erring towards no myself. I'm just saying that if you think you can do it, then that changes things.
I don't think I can do anything. I don't know how I'm still here.
That's a good, yeah, me too.
What about Daisy or yourself?
Me.
Just to clarify, he's admonishing himself,
Yeah.
not somebody else. Yeah.
Not Daisy, yeah. I realised how cruel that sounded.
I wouldn't take offence.
Okay.
It's the same.
And shall we take a vote then? All in favour of yes? Raise your hand.
A very decisive decision, it seems. Then very well. Well.
Regrettably, of course.
Oh, of course, of course. It is a shame. Like I said, I imagine that you would have done a great thing to take whatever arms and weapons and materials that Venmire and her allies have away. But I understand. One must be careful and cautious. And yes, if it is not worth the risk, then you should not do it. That's the creed I live by. If something is not worth the risk, I certainly wouldn't put myself in danger for
I'm
it.
glad you understand.
Of course, of course. Well, in that case, enjoy your gift, and I hope that our paths cross once more. My delightful friends. Ta-ta, darlings.
Goodbye.
Blows a
Bye now.
kiss. Disguise self, and leaves. Leaving you with a brief moment.
I feel
Okay.
bad, but also Daisy wouldn't willingly
Play those
walk
characters.
into
Yeah, I mean...
anything with like fiends and stuff. She's not going to walk into it because of Nim.
Yeah.
We're already concerned about the enemies we might make just in Ashen Rest. If we start stealing things from multi-dimensional, demi-plane wandering arms dealers of devilish delights...
I'm just going to do this just to wind up Tom out of character, but imagine the loot you could have gotten.
My dude? My brother in Christ?
Demon-infused, it's like a whole thing, man. Like
Demon-infused thing. Daisy's out.
devil and
can't-
demon-infused, like,
You
weapons
think that
and armor.
didn't go through my mind? Kalifris, come back!
This is the thing.
Might not be. It might have just been enchanted. I mean, don't know. Might have been magic items.
Oh, I mean, the risk would certainly be worth the reward, but like...
Oh, yeah, no, Ria's yes, like,
That's the thing.
firm yes.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
like,
Daisy
yeah,
can't
yeah, but
do it.
Ophelia, like...
Chris Trott's struggling being Rowan at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's just
It's
no
hard.
way
It
that
is
we would have
hard.
accepted that. I
Yeah.
think is a way of looking at it, right?
There's no way that Nim would have let Daisy
However,
wander into something like
One
that.
thing we
Well,
have done is not cut off communication entirely. We've dangled.
got
We've said no to this, but that doesn't
We
mean
have
that
got
there's
a
not.
sending
Kalifris knows something we want.
And you've got a sending scroll.
We
If
have
you
got
want to
a
be
sending
like,
scroll.
if you
If we
suddenly
really
go like,
want to.
fuck, actually, we need to do this.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Whatever.
Also, Kalifris has something on us now. Like, they know
Yeah.
that we need it.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe. One thing I'm going to say as well is like, with things like Nim as well, right?
Yeah.
We can always make it so that, like, for some, like, Nim would be like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I'll go for it if you want. Like, if there's something where you're like, oh, I really want to do it, but I feel that
But I just
conflicted.
don't feel like this
Totally.
is when teleporting off of Althea is involved. I don't think that Nim would be like.
Oh, to be clear, it would be teleporting to the Suncrest Isles, and then
Okay.
you would be going into a demiplane somewhere
you
in
have-
that city.
You have
but
to go to a demiplane to do it.
It would be
Then
going
I
into a
don't think
demiplane, yeah.
that That's something.
Yeah,
that,
I want to make it clear that
Yeah.
there's always ways to justify the in-character stuff if you
Yeah.
want to.
Oh, yeah.
But like,
Just don't
I don't want you to
at the
feel
moment.
forced by this NPC that you can't do it. Do you know what I mean? All right, yeah. With that, yeah, you guys watch as the courier makes their way out. You watch them walk down the street, and then they turn towards the far gate, and they are getting out of town. They are not going to be lingering around, especially not with Malady and Benedicta around.
Yeah.
They are not going to be risking that.
What was the name of this arms dealer?
Then they referred to them as
Venmira.
Venmira. You didn't get a surname; they just called them Venmira.
What if there was a way? No.
Go on.
If we
Word the thought. I want to hear it.
And we know the name of this
Yeah.
person. We know they have what we're looking for.
We know that it's Suncrest Isle.
We know in the Suncrest Isles.
If you wanted to, you could have had Kalifris set up a meeting with them directly for you if you wanted to. Like,
Right.
you could be like, rather than trying to steal it, could we just try and buy it from the arms dealer? Like, you could try
Well,
and do that.
true, but-
Absolutely. That would be basically going like, we'll do a deal with the lawful evil succubus, please. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, rather than stealing from a bad guy, you're like, no, let's make a deal. That's better. Like, you know, it's maybe less of an enemy, but it would probably be the less morally good thing to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if we just cut out the middle one?
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, if you want to try and do that, you can try and track it down. That would require. You could try something like sending, or trying to find a contact, like somebody else who knows them, or the contact other plane spell, things like that. Like
Well, because
sending could work. It is a 5% chance to go.
wouldn't somebody at the Lamplighters know how to get it if they've put it in the
Maybe.
lamps?
Maybe.
We should start.
Well, they
like-
are getting ferrite from somewhere.
Yeah.
they're investigating at the moment.
And
But
have dinner
they've got
tonight.
people in custody. But well,
That's-
yeah.
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 Also, to make it clear as well, the Lamplighters don't necessarily have Fellite themselves.
No.
The enchantment that they're using, Fellite is like a metal that's bound to the planar realm, to the Twin Pits. So by using the metal, Blackwing can create something which will track anything which has been touched by that same magic, right? But that maybe they do
character
have
rod.
Fellite. Maybe the Lamplighters do have some deal or something like that, and they have a connection that can find this stuff, or they have a supply of it maybe hidden somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can find out more anyway at our lovely meal tonight with
Yes, I think we
Tobias
should.
and Jaina.
Let's take a
Janya.
step back.
Yes. Take a breather.
We're getting involved in grand events here, and we have barely made any dent here in Ashen's Rest in terms of us being here that long.
I would say almost the exact opposite.
I mean, we've made a dent. You know what I mean? It's
It's not a good
overwhelming.
Yes. We're a drop in the ocean.
Yes.
But we are making waves.
I'm worried that we might be making too big a wave for us to handle at the moment. Maybe we can refocus our efforts on doing some things that are good for us as well. Such as removing your curse
And removing your curse.
and getting a little bit of money, so even if we were to go, we'd at least renovate the enticing devil for the next of
A
kin.
legacy. He wants to build a legacy.
No, for the rest of our friends to live
Sure.
in our death.
We're not. This is not going to be the thing that takes
I
us
need to
down,
write a
Rowan.
will.
Don't write a will, fine, but
That's just prudent practice.
That's good.
go
That's
ahead.
good to do.
It's responsible.
I like the idea that, like, although you haven't spent any time in Gildeye, like Gold Dragons and Gildeye, there is that kind of like, no, it's fiscally responsible to have a will. It's like that kind of like everything is like,
you know
but
what?
you should have an investment fund and
Yeah.
you should have a savings account before you're this age. And
Yeah.
like it's very like money kind of like wealth driven.
By all means, write a will, if that will make you feel better. But like I said, this is not the thing that's going to take us down. We can get this fixed.
I'm wondering if the Duke could maybe help, because you both have been afflicted in something that was given to you by the Duke. Surely this is his responsibility
it's
to
a little
fix.
bit
Are you suggesting we
accusatory.
sue?
Well, no, I'm just suggesting that this property is in his land, and clearly it's dangerous because you've both been afflicted
Can we get some assistance from
from the Duke.
the Duke to cleanse this corruption out of his lands?
I'm just saying the House of Blood wouldn't stand for it.
We
Okay.
would never have such a...
Oh, never, never. We look after our brothers and sisters very well in the House of Blood.
Aren't there
We're well
houses
catered
of
for.
ghosts and things?
Yeah.
Yes, but they're all well looked after.
Right.
Yeah.
No curses.
Well, there would be curses, but like your clerics, like the priests of the Gravefather would cleanse that. They wouldn't
Yes.
charge for it or anything like that. Like they would do that. They would make
Right.
sure that people are looked after.
So it's a great disgrace.
Well, we could ask considerate.
The considerate.
The considerate of the Duke, whose name is
Orgrim.
Orgrim. Yes. We could ask them to see if there's anything they could do to help in some small way.
Yes.
There's opportunities, ways to fix it. Also, we need to speak to the guard that might have seen Kavon leaving years and years ago, sure, but
If we could let
That's
them
something
to
we could do.
rest by giving them closure, by giving them Kavon,
yeah.
that might end the curse.
So we could do that.
But that sounds like a big, long journey.
Any ideas, Daisy?
I just don't think you should insult the Duke by complaining about the giant house he gave us because I.
Oh,
think
no,
he might be insulted.
I graciously accept the generosity that he's given us. It is a very lovely, will be a very lovely property.
It's up and coming.
Up and coming.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that we've had a workplace incident.
Yes.
Have you filled out an accident form?
Yes, I don't know if Ashen's Rest have such things.
I mean, like, they're generally authorities. Part of their responsibility is not just being kind of like law enforcement, but they are also technically like lawyers. So if you feel aggrieved by somebody, you would go to an authority and be like, I am aggrieved that this person has, they've ruined my shopping cart or something like that. And then the authorities would investigate and put a legal case.
Hell
Oh,
So
yeah.
you could be like,
Go to court.
let's go sue the Duke. Like, it is certainly something you can try.
If that's the way
would
this
die.
campaign goes, oh man.
We'd die so
Objection!
quick. Did you see the way that they flew
I
in
feel it would
through
be a
the
little bit
ceiling?
more Better Call Saul than like Phoenix, right? Because it's like a domestic like it's like a an accident case. It's not like a murder trial or anything like that.
We're not getting the full courtroom RP.
You'd get like Saul. He's like, well, the thing, Your Honor, is I've actually that's not even the witness. That's the witness down at the other end of the room. Like you can
very
tell,
good.
you can tell, Dragon. Like it'd be that kind of thing.
Good.
Hell yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Gavin
So we could
Sayer,
Gavin Sayer, the guard who saw Kavon last.
we could at least start there.
Yeah, you've got like a few hours before dinner, like you need to head off for dinner. So you've definitely got time to go and speak to the guard if that's what you want to do. You probably only have enough time to go and do that, like speak to the guard and come back and stuff like that.
Alternatively, we could try and find out some more information about this person. Do we trust them? This Leto,
Tobias
Leto,
Leto. Yeah.
or even Janya Cooper. They've been giving up information for the Lamplighters, or for the authorities about the Lamplighters, freely and willingly, but again, how much do we trust
That's what they
every
say.
Lamplighter?
They say that.
Do we want to find out more about this person before we go
Yep.
strolling into their property?
Maybe that's prudent.
You can split if this is the kind of thing if a couple of you want to go off and do one thing and then the others go and speak to the guards, you can absolutely do that. But you're going to get as individual characters a chance to basically do one major sort of task before the dinner.
Maybe it's worth us splitting up
Before you decide to split off, because we haven't done it yet, luckily we've not really needed to make any big rolls, but let us do our Crucible of Fate, because if you guys make skill checks, you might want to spend it on
yes.
this.
Crucible!
So, D6 from everybody.
Yeah. Oh.
Achoo.
Oh, I'm going to start with me this time, and it is a 6, so it's a dice for you.
Nice for us.
Katie. It's a dice for me.
I got a 5.
That's a dice for you.
That's 2.
It's a dice for me. Oh, Rhiannon, it's all even.
It's a 6.
It's a 6. Yay! Look at
Hey,
that.
well done.
3-2.
Polite clapping. all
Like
round.
clapping. 3-2.
Yes.
So you guys have got a few extra points. Don't forget you can add them
3-2.
to your ability checks. So if you're making like persuasion checks or insight checks or things like that, you do have them. Spend them while you can.
Okay.
So they go away at the end of the session. So
All right. Who wants to
or
go
use them for cool creative stuff as well.
Yeah.
find and speak with Gavin because of Kavon?
I could go and speak to him.
Yeah.
I would like to as well.
Okay.
Gruffith will basically say, I think I'm going to leave it to all of you, boys and girls. You go to the dinner. I want to go and investigate some things about the curse that you've got yourselves into, and I'm going to sort of find if the Sun Sword has come up with something that we might be able to do to help you with it. Maybe ask around some of the other temples and see if they've got ways that they can deal with it as well. I think I should leave this in your hands.
And you don't wish to attend the dinner?
Well, if I get back in time, maybe. But
Sure.
We'll see.
We'll see how things go.
But if don't wait on.
Okay.
Well, we know that Ilkara Lightheart
Yes.
can remove one of our curses for money.
For
We
money.
don't have the money though.
It's the bathhouse there. You can spend money to get one of you removed. Ilkara Lightheart is from the cathedral and said that they would need to
something
pray
like
on it, and there would be some sort of favour or
At
service.
some point, which we don't know
Yeah.
about yet. Yeah, if you have more information, that would be very appreciated, Gruff.
Like,
So you want to speak to the guard?
try and find him first. And
So Daisy and Rowan go and speak to the guard.
Yep. Okay, Ophelia. How would we find out more about this Tobias?
Tobias.
Now, do we want to go waltzing right into the Lamplighters Guild and start asking about this guy? Right now?
this old Toby guy.
We'll pretend to be Lamplighters.
Yeah.
Oh, you hear what happened to Toby?
Yeah, you can pretend to be Lamplighters, the incredibly obvious foreigner vampire lady, and the gold dragonborn, who.
So discreet.
Who is like unless you've got magic to disguise yourselves, or you actively try and disguise yourselves, you're not going to convince nobody nothing.
So how do we find out about this Tobias, or Janya?
Would Teresa know about any of them?
Teresa's being held.
Yeah,
Oh, I hope she's comfortable.
Ree wasn't there for us for that.
It's a good hold.
Yeah.
She's being held captive just now.
She's in jail.
very
in jail.
warm. Very warm.
Oh,
She's not being cuddled. No.
that's sad.
Yeah.
Oh no.
She's a
Anyway,
Here's Wonderwall.
Maybe. So yeah, what's the point?
what was like the title of Tobias?
Guildmaster,
Guildmaster.
Guildmaster,
He's
and
the
both of them are the
Guildmaster.
Guildmasters.
Okay.
So they're the
We're
two
having dinner
Guildmasters.
with tonight, by the way.
Delightful.
We've been invited.
Somebody's
they've
name
been
breaks down.
forthcoming. They've been forthcoming and giving up information about the Lamplighters and want to, for whatever reason, have a dinner with us to speak with
Because
us.
of our job. Because of
our
the
job.
job we did and that we assisted the Lamplighters. I think they want to thank us
Kill us.
for our service.
Well, then we will have to gladly attend, won't we? And glean whatever information we can out of Tobias.
Yeah.
Perhaps there, I suppose.
If you don't have any specific ideas on how to gather information on Tobias, you can just do it me and Ophelia are going to spend a few hours just trying to gather information, just from people in the town.
Yeah.
That is just a generic. You don't need to be this
I was going
specific.
to do that to be where is Gavin now?
Where is he?
Yeah, like, well, that's going to be a separate thing. Like, you guys are going to be able to track down Gavin, and it's going to be like a conversation
Yeah, I
between
think
him.
we knew he was still a soldier.
Yeah, he's a guard, he's around. Like, you'll be able to track him down. For Ophelia and Xanthius, it's going to basically be like a charisma roll to see, like, how much information. It's going to be like a little downtime activity.
Yeah, I don't really know any specific.
If you had a
places.
specific
Yeah.
thing, then we could role play that and you might get more specific information. But if you want to just do a generic, like, you guys just go out there and try and gather some intel or some rumors or gossip, you can do that as well, right? Don't agonize too much about, like, what exactly do we need to do if you don't have a clear idea.
There'd be like a census or something we could look at. Like, look.
Yeah, there'd be records. You could go to the Hall of Records in the House of the Quill. What's it called? It is called the House of the Quill and Scale. So it's the St. Abranor Shrine, but it also serves as the town library and like records hall. You could go there and like look at like it would be like things like census information and like financial records, land records, that sort of thing.
That would be a good place to check also for Cavan stuff, right? If there's any records and stuff in the town.
Find his house.
Like we can find Gavin, but like
I guess
if
it's
there's
only
any extra
records
info.
of this town.
Yeah, so what I'm going to say with that is like so if you did go with that, Daisy and Rowan, you would basically find out where Kavon lives.
Okay.
And then that would help you in your search, and you will both find him. Like, there's no question about that. You'll find him either at work on,
Gavin.
Gavin. Sorry. You, with terms of Kavon, you could look into that, but I think the authority already said that like you kind of already have as much information on that as you're going to get. Like,
we know when he
sold the
bought the
house.
town.
Like, he bought the town of Haven. He sold it back. He left. He said he was going back to Kelskaris, and that's kind of the information you guys have, right? But for Gavin, you can easily locate him, and that'll be a roleplay conversation. Whereas for Xanthius and Ophelia, if you're going to kind of try and like gain secret information or like try and gain like rumor or something like that, it would be a check to see how well you can, research the Lamplighters Guild and the Guild Masters, basically. See if there's any juicy goss.
Yeah, I think it's worth a try. House of the Quill is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think.
All right.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll treat it like a downtime.
Sure, that's how I'm going to do it. We're going to take our first break. We're going to take our break. So that's going to be it for part one. When we come back to part two, we'll jump straight into those two things, and then maybe we'll go into the dinner this evening as well.
Nums.
Num
I
num.
regret that.
You should regret that.
Sorry.
Especially as the last thing of part one. Thank you so much. We'll see you in part two.
See ya. Bye now. Bye.
Welcome back to part two. Our heroes, having had a long conversation with the Tiefling Kalifris about the ways that they may be able to help them, as well as the gift that has been given to our heroes, they have parted ways, and now our heroes are continuing their investigations into a number of matters here in Ashen Rest. We're going to jump straight into, let's do Daisy and Rowan going to speak with the guard. Gavin Saya, that's right, thank you very much. About some matters involving Kavon and the spirit of his wife. You guys, after spending a little bit of time trying to track him down, you find Gavin in the barracks of the Forge, basically, finishing up, putting up his equipment for the day, and he's just about to head home, and you catch him just as he's leaving the Forge, coming out into the streets, as he's pointed out to you. And you see that Gavin Sayer is quite an older guard. Must be close to kind of the age where he's probably going to be asked to step down or retire, but he's not moved past, but he's not moved past like a small rank. He's a sergeant. Okay. He's not, this is not somebody who's been particularly ambitious in his life. He's old, bald, wrinkled, and you see him just kind of like, I'll see you tomorrow, bye.
No.
And he just kind of begins shuffling his way off towards his home.
Daisy, I think you're a little more diffusing than I am. Sometimes people don't like my big stature.
Okay.
So maybe you could introduce yourself and
Okay.
I'll stand back.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Like torn between looking down and looking up.
I had to say hi. I know.
Wait.
You.
It's okay. He's fine. He's very nice. He's just very tall.
I'm not on duty anymore. Is there something I can help you with? Who are you? What do you want?
Are you Gavin Sayer?
Who's asking?
Oh, we're just new residents of the town. We wondered if we could ask you about. We've recently inherited the old haunted inn.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Yeah, it's.
Heard that player's a scarred lady, right? I've heard that she spooks people. Wasn't sure if it was real. Is it real?
Yeah.
It's very real.
Blimey.
But we wanted to ask you about Cavan, who was the former owner.
Oh, yeah, Cavon, I remember him. Yeah, all that business with the church, and they didn't like the name, did they? The place. What was it called?
Enticing Devil.
Enticing Devil. I was going to call it the Slutty Devil.
That would...
The Enticing Devil, yeah. Now, I remember all that business. He was a right old stink about it. And then, old Cavon, he had to sell the place. Wasn't doing much business. His wife left him and all that. It was terrible business.
But now, we were speaking to the High Authority, and this was years ago now, and they had a file on it when they were working on this case.
Right.
It went cold. Unfortunately, they didn't have time to finish up, but Cavon went on the run. And apparently...
What? Cavon went on the run?
He just left out. You were the last person to see him.
Yeah, he wasn't on the run. He was leaving. He'd sold off the inn. He'd packed up his stuff. He had like a pack with him, and he said he was heading back to Kelskaris. He was going after his wife, going to try and win her back.
Kelskaris.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he told me. That's what he said.
Yep, that lines up with what we've heard.
I think. It was a long time ago, but I don't remember him being on the run. He seemed awfully calm.
And you haven't seen him come back to Ashen?
No, not at all. I thought he'd gone off and wasn't sure if he'd got back with his wife or not, but figured he was done. He either wasn't coming back or he was, he was going to stay there.
So Kelskaris then?
It's funny, I haven't thought about that in a long time, but I remember it. It was, because he was oddly calm.
What does he look like?
Oh, he's a human. He's a bloke.
Okay.
Must be in his 50s by now, I reckon. He was younger than me. He's got like dark hair, a little beard,
brown, black hair.
It was like sort of dark brown, not black, but dark brown, and he had one of those little shitty chin beards. He was. I suppose some people might call him a handsome fella. Back then, he was quite a good-looking young man.
Blue eyes, brown eyes.
I couldn't tell you. It was a long time ago, mate. I don't remember something like that. He was normal. He was just like kind of friendly innkeeper bloke. Do you know what I mean?
Did he not, when he was leaving? Did he seem more aggressive, angry?
No, he was calm. I remember it because I saw him, and we normally check everybody that's going through the gates normally, and I checked in with him because I could see he had a pack with him, and I said, where are you off to, Cavon? And he said, I said I heard you sold the inn, and he said, yeah, I've sold it back to the Duke, and I'm going to the city. I'm going to go to Kelskaris. I'm going to try and find Taria, track her down, and make up for things. And I was like, I said, well, good luck with that. It's good that you're going to try and win her back or whatever. And he was like, and he just said, yeah, I've got to make my peace with it. And he went off. And you see Gavin's face kind of twitches. It was like, there's one thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm remembering that conversation. I did remember thinking at the time, he didn't look like he had enough stuff. Because, it's like a week's day. It's a week's travel to the city from here.
We've travelled from Burnell, and yes,
it's about five days or so, right, from Burnell. And
Scaris is even further.
You're talking another 3, 4, 5 days on top of that. But his pack didn't seem that full, like he wasn't going to go that far. But I thought, maybe he's going to resupply at Burnell. Maybe he's, carrying light or something like that.
So he was heading in that direction.
He went out the north gate. I suppose, I don't know where else you would go.
There's no other villages.
There's other villages, but the Imperial Highway goes north. I guess there's Hearth. That's like 3 days out, but that's west. It's not north. You'd turn off the Imperial Highway. You'd head west, and you could get to Hearth. There's a little village out in the Rustwale Woods, but that's a tiny place out in tucked away in the forest. It's not very a lot. It's very small. There's only a handful of people, I think, that live up there. I can't even remember the name of the place. Something Hill or something Vale or something like that. It's tucked away.
Would I know where?
You've heard of Hearth. You've been to Hearth. You've travelled up that way before. You didn't stay there very long. Not long enough for you to say if you saw Kavon there or something like that. But you know Hearth. It's 3 days off the Imperial Highway. So yeah, like if he left out the North Gate, Kavon could have gone there if he wanted to. The other place you've not been to.
No.
It must be like it deep in the woods, and I don't think you and Nim on your own would have travelled. There's too much risk doing something like that. It's quite risky to travel through like thick woodland or like mountains on your own. But you know that there's lots of like anything on the map or any place that you've been, Daisy, are like populations big enough to be quite substantial. There's dozens of like little villages that have got like 20, 30 people in them. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of places like that scattered all over the place.
Did you know him personally?
Went to the Devil for a drink once or twice when it opened. Didn't really see him that much after that. After all that fuss with the church, you couldn't risk it. You didn't
So
want to
you never went near the time where he sold it?
No, I didn't go anywhere. No, barely anybody was going in there at that point.
Really?
Just hardcore drunks and beggars and, the poor and things like that. Anybody that couldn't really afford to go anywhere else. But, no, I went in there when it opened, but then as soon as all that business with the church happened, couldn't risk it. But yeah, I saw his missus around. She would go to the shop. She'd see her on patrol every now and then. She was quite well liked, Tyria. A lot of people liked her. She was quite nice. Don't blame her for running though. Kavon, apparently he was a real drunk and a bit of a nasty prick after it started all turning wrong.
You don't know anyone that would have seen Tyria?
I think I saw her when she left. I wasn't on the gate. I was nearby, and like the ones on the gate were young kids, so they weren't really doing the proper checks. But I saw somebody who looked like her, and she, had a pack with her, and she left, the town a few days before Kavon. I didn't really see her up close, though. I mean, it looked like her, but it might not have been, I suppose. But I don't see why anybody would be pretending to be her.
This has all been extremely helpful. Thank you so much.
That's all right. It's an old thing. I only remember it because there was such a fuss. Like, it's one of those things that sticks in your mind, but the details are a bit fuzzy.
Do you know if there's any photographs or drawings of what Kavon looks like?
There wouldn't be photographs, but there'd be like sketches and things like that. I mean, I don't think so. People normally get portraits or sketches or magical things done for them and things like that, but I don't think they were wealthy enough. When things started going bad with the inn, I can't imagine there would be. I mean, I can give you a description. If I don't know. If
he gives me a description, do you think I could try and draw something, show it to him, and say, does
it's
this
like a
look
police sketch, right? Yeah.
Basically.
And I think the thing is like Gavin's old, but something about this kind of is obviously stuck in his mind, like whether it was the incident with the inn and everything else. And like even for an old god, like his memory's pretty good, and like he can recall details that a lot of people wouldn't normally pick out on. Like once you get him talking and he starts remembering it, he's like, no, the brow's a bit more furrowed, a bit deeper, chin's a bit stronger. Like he kind of helps you craft it. And I think with your artistic ability, Daisy, you're absolutely able to produce a really solid sketch of this guy. Give me so you're gonna have that automatically, but he does say, like, as you're talking to Gavin, he's like, but he would be like, 5 years, however long it's been older. You can, if you want to, like, make a probably intelligence or wisdom, so just straight intelligence or wisdom, to see if you could adapt, like, or do a new sketch with him, like, maybe looking 5 years older kind of thing, if you wanted to.
Just add lines.
Well, it's like adding lines, like greying the hair a little bit, sagging the skin maybe a little bit,
A lot can happen in 5 years. He was unfortunately kicked in the face by a horse.
Yeah.
I will add.
Dude, I know I looked at myself pre-COVID and after COVID and I was like, there's a difference in that man.
Same.
He's seen some shit.
I will add a fate dice.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not a super high DC on this.
11.
11. I'd say you do an okay job, but it's like, yeah, it's not like an incredible, but you've got two versions now, like Kavon as Gavin remembers him, and then a sort of slightly aged up version that kind of gives you an idea of what he might look like now.
Okay. Okay.
We won't keep you any longer. We appreciate that you've only just finished your shift.
Ah, that's all right. I mean, you said that you're helping the High Authority out.
That's right, yes.
Well, I mean, put in a good word for me if you're helping with some sort of investigation. A little bit of a pay rise before I finish and retire would be quite nice. If I've helped out with like something, that would be always nice, always appreciated.
Well, we've got thorough information about Kevin's last whereabouts and his appearance. So.
Why are you asking anyway? What's all this business about? Like, why ask about Kavon now?
Can we tell you a secret, Kevin?
Oh, yeah, I'm a guard.
Rowan
One of the Duke's guards.
We've spoken to the scarred lady.
The ghost, it's real. It's actually real.
It's real, and I'm cursed.
Blimey.
He is cursed.
And-
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
It possessed one of our friends, and they were able to
Really?
see from their perspective.
You're pulling my leg.
She did also find a knife in
the basement.
You think it was a murder?
I don't think that his wife ever left town, and I don't think he ever made it to Kilscaris. They've
Blimey.
never heard, because her family's there.
This is why it's confusing that you may have seen someone like her leaving town a few days before.
But we heard
Like
that.
I said, it was a distant though. I didn't see her up
been
close. And the kids at it was the younger lot, and they don't take the job seriously like I do, and they just let her pass. They didn't. You're supposed to ask, what business, where you're going, what's going on, so you can record it. But they just waved her through.
We think, like Daisy says, Tyria never left, and the anger grew, and that they were not in a good place.
You think it's Tyria's the scarred lady?
Indeed.
Blimey.
And we need to find the loose end that is Kavon to lay this spirit to rest.
Oh, that poor woman. Oh, what a piece of shit. God. Well, look, if there's anything I can do to help, I'm an old guard now, but if I remember anything, I'll come and let you know. But
If you remember anything, well, you know where we are.
yeah.
We're
I'll ask the other guards about it as well, see if they know anything, if any of them have heard from Kavon, or if they knew anything about if any of them remember. I know a couple of them, they're a bit older now, maybe they'll be able to, if they remember anything funny about her leaving, I'll go and talk to them.
And if any of them are fearful of this spirit, rest assured that in the daytime they've assured us that they will not be doing anything nefarious.
All right, okay. All right.
So
We
all you
Sure,
can
it's just from a ghost. Blimey, you lot have been busy, haven't you?
Well, we just want
Yes.
to find some justice for her, because if this happened, then
it's awful, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone in town seemed to really like her. So
Yeah, they did. She was sweet. She was a nice lady. Yeah, no, she was. And, honestly, I don't think anybody really took the ghost business very seriously. I think most of us guys, we all thought of it as a bit of a joke. The newbie, you send the newbie to patrol that street to spook them, and they'd be like, oh, I saw a face in the window, and they'd all, whatever, bunch of bollocks in it. But it sounds real. It sounds real.
it is real, but
Can't be having no ghosts in the Duke's town. Can't be having that.
I wouldn't advise coming.
He's like a pigeon.
If you do come by,
His head is almost perfectly round, like a ball. It's not like a head shape. It's like a completely.
Like, what's his face?
Yeah, he likes Carl Pilkington.
Carl Pilkington.
Imagine like a 60-year-old Carl Pilkington.
Yeah, I can
That's what
picture
I've got in my brain for
yeah,
this guy.
Yeah, I got it now. Locked in.
Yeah.
Monkey fella.
if you do come by, maybe just wait out on the street. She's
Alright.
not keen on people coming in, but we can come out and meet you. If you find out anything else,
Blimey.
You can
All
leave
right.
you can leave a note or something.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm fucking 60. I'm not scared of no ghosts. But yeah, no, all right. I'll come by if I learn of anything. Yeah,
Thank you so
all right.
much, Gavin.
Yeah.
Compensation for your help. I give him a silver piece.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you very much. Technically, I'm off duty, so I can accept it. If I was on duty, this would be bribing or one of the Duke's guards, and I wouldn't be able to say yes. But we're off duty. I'll spend it on a good beer.
Or There's a lovely place and right next to the Enticing Devil called a Latte Fun.
Right.
You
Very
need a
good.
caffeine boost. Fantastic.
All right. Okay. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow. I'll have it before my shift.
All right.
All right. Lovely. All right. Lovely. What's your name?
Rowan,
Rowan?
it's an honor to meet you. You can call me Big Green.
I like Big Green.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, Big Green. What's your name, little one?
I'm Daisy.
Hello, Daisy. All right, lovely. Well, listen, pleasure to meet you both. I hope that I've helped.
You have. And this sketch is really helpful because then now we know the person we're looking for if he's still around.
Listen, you find this fucking prick. You give him one for me, eh? Right on the old kisser. Ugh.
Oh, hit them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or stab him. Or beat him.
Oh my God.
You know, sounds like a right prick.
Thank you,
Got his
Gavin.
legs off, throw him in a river.
Thanks.
Make him eat.
Fucking scum. But yeah, with that, you guys can...
Man,
yeah.
the energy you put into, oh, what a piece of shit. Fucking killed me.
But yeah, you guys finish up chatting with Gavin Sayer and can start making your way back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Xanthius and Ophelia, you guys had headed to the records kept at the
House of the Quill
House
and
of
Scale.
Quill and Scale.
Which we haven't, I think we've walked past it
Which
before,
you haven't been to yet, yeah. So this temple is dedicated to Saint Abranor, who is known for their study of magic and mathematics, as well as creating a number of systems of record keeping.
Okay.
He was the first dean of the Imperial Academia and is said to have been the first to decipher the mysteries of the Proto-Magi vaults, and that is what caused his ascension to becoming a saint. The House of the Quill and Scale serves as a temple to his ascension, as well as a public library and a vault of records. The shrine is attended to by, you see, as you enter, there is a polite, elderly-looking half-elf. In a sort of long robe, and he has a necklace which has a series of interlocked rings, which are the symbol of Saint Abranor. He has like unique symbols for the saints, and you can see there are a few people quietly reading books, or like some people are like checking records and things like that. In fact, actually, no, because this is a roundabout. You guys are doing this in the afternoon. You see the keeper, the kind of the law keeper is the official title. He is desperately trying to deal with a group of children who are running around with a very flustered-looking teacher. A wild heart woman with like cat ears and a cat tail, bright red hair and bright red furred ears and tail, in a kind of very Victorian, like bustly kind of gown. Like, children, stop! No, put those down! And like she's like desperately trying to cajole all these kids that are running around like blah, 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 doing like what kids do when they're overly excited. And the lawkeeper is like, please, do not disrupt. You need to put them back in their place, children. There is a very delicate... And he's just like, Miss Farah, please get them under control. Please, I cannot... By the saints be praised. Oh, my goodness. And he sees you come in. He goes to the teacher, please get them under control. And just any books they take off the shelves, put to one side. I will deal with them later. And she's like, I'm so sorry, lawkeeper. And she's like trying to gather these children up. And he just comes over and he's like, I'm so sorry, my children. You've come at a rather boisterous time. Welcome to the house of the Quill and Scale.
Thank you. No, much louder than I was expecting, I'll be honest.
Yes, we are the local school, the Ignaxa Academy. They are having a bit of a trip here. They're supposed to be learning about local history, and their teacher, she's a bit... And she's like, Timmy, come down. And like there's a child on like climbing like, I'm a knight! Ah! Like screaming around, like, ha-ha! Like jumping off these things. She's like, no! Chasing after him. And he's just like, as you can see, it is not going very well. But yes, how can I help you? Welcome to St. Abranor's sanctum.
Well, yes, we were wondering if we could look into perhaps town census or some records, something like that.
You certainly can, madam. Forgive me. You right?
Just sneeze. Just.
Oh right, okay.
Didn't do anything.
Oh, it like just came, but didn't.
A vanishing sneeze.
I got
Vanishing
cut
sneeze.
for that.
That's the worst.
Sorry, Karen.
He says, yes, of course, please forgive me, but by your accoutrement, I don't believe that you are from Ossius.
Yes, I am Sister Ophelia Della Rosa of the House of Blood.
Ah, yes, I have done some reading on your country and your beliefs.
Isn't it wonderful?
It is very different to here. Yes, I could, yes. I mean, the records are public. They are available for anyone who wishes to look at them. They are just in a separate room down here. I can take you to it and help you find with... Is there something in particular you are looking for?
Well, we just wanted to...
Perusing.
Yes.
We are recent new residents of the town.
Residents?
Yes, we acquired a tavern, the Enticing Devil.
Like, immediately, like, makes a sign.
It's all real. Yes, it's haunted. Yes, we've dealt with it.
I mean, I heard that I did not believe any of the stories about a haunting, but that place, you should sell it back to the Duke. It is a place of ill omen.
It's a work in progress.
Yes, the Scions and the Saints would not approve of such a place, such a ghastly name.
Oh, we intend to change the name.
Oh, good.
I was thinking maybe the Gilded Skull might be quite nice. What do you think?
Oh, we'll see how people respond to it.
What do you think? Gilded Skull?
It is certainly better than the devil. Doesn't seem that bothered by like the Gilded Skull. Like the immediate word like impression, that doesn't seem to be like as a faux pas thing. Because I think the Scions have their own Death Saint who has got like a skull image and things like that. So like that's actually more like acceptable to them, right?
Whereas
Bunch of
devils is
weirdos.
literally...
Yeah.
Galvassar's Rest, then.
What?
We called it Galvassar's Rest.
Galvassar's favourite place.
Oh my! You could literally not call something worse than this town. This place was nearly wiped out by the Gold Dragon Rebellion. It would be very bad. The Duke would probably the Duke himself would probably come and burn it to the ground.
Okay, well, I guess we'll call it the Enticing Devil then.
The Dragon Empresses.
Well, go on, finish. There was a bit you didn't finish there, Rhiannon. The Dragon Empresses.
Coffin.
Coffin. Coffin.
God.
Oh, lovely.
Jeez.
Come on down to the local pub, Queen Elizabeth's Grave. And that's for a monarch we don't particularly like that much.
She's cry laughing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the lawkeeper, who you would learn, by the way, is he introduces himself as Ulan Kane. Lawkeeper Ulan Kane.
Dope.
He takes you past. You do notice that going through the library, leaving the screaming children of the local school behind, you would see that there are a number of locked and not guarded, but warded doors. Like you can actually see glowing runes on them.
Okay.
As you go past, all have signs of like restricted access, no access, not for public use, and that sort of thing. But he takes you to a back room where there are these huge, built into the walls like cylinder chambers, and they have these like engraved slots, and there are like dates and names, and you have to scroll through them, and then you pull out like a tome out of these kind of like giant cylindrical things that are built into the wall. And he will say, are you comfortable researching yourself, or would you like me, if you give me dates or names, I can pull out records for you?
I don't think we have a lot of information to immediately go off of to start with, so I think maybe we'll start alone, perhaps?
we can go through the census ourselves. Is there any literature about maybe the history of the guilds of Ashes Rest?
Oh yes, of course. That would not be here. We have some local works of actual tomes and things that of research have been done. Yes, we keep a local history of Ashen Rest and the guilds, and yes, we have things like that as well.
I think we were both enamoured by the works of the Lamplighters Guild, and we were.
Oh yes. So they're quite ingenious. They're quite the rise to popularity and wealth they've had. Quite ingenious. The people that are leading it. They've very very fresh ideas. And
we would love to learn more about the guild.
We have a record of its history, but I'm afraid the actual details you'll need to go and speak with them yourself. But I will fetch you the book. We have a few books on that matter. Would you like them brought here?
Yes, please.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Just please be careful with the record devices. Don't give them too much force or anything like that.
And then we look down the hallway. There's kids swinging off them and stuff like that.
He's like, oh, saints and scions, and he goes chasing after them. But yeah, you guys are left momentarily alone. It does look like Ulan's going to come back with those books, but you've got some time to go through this.
But these sensor, I guess, are alphabetical, or
it's by date. It's by date
okay.
and year. So you would have to go back and things like that. They're split into basically records of land and ownership, and so they track this house was sold to this person, or the Duke gifted this land to this person.
Okay.
Then you have important dates and events that have taken place, and their records are kept of this date this thing happened, oddities, magical events, the weather. They keep records of that stuff as well, and then things like census data, like births, deaths, family trees, that sort of thing, are all kept on another one as well.
Yeah,
but it's generally organized either by date or by your alphabetical name. So if you wanted to be Tobias Leto, let's find out his but when he was born, where who his family is and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think just any information we can possibly get about that, and if there's anything in the Lamplighters history book or tomes or whatever.
Yeah. So this is going to be 2 checks. You can choose which one you want to make.
Okay.
If you do a history check, now wait just before you roll. A history check is going to be you going through the books and doing the research and methodical thinking, right? Yeah. Or a straight intelligence if you're not proficient in history. Or you can do a perception check or an investigation check, and that is going to be more trying to find oddities and things that don't quite add up. So it's looking for inconsistencies or looking for things that are unusual, versus the history check, which is more just a good skill at researching and learning, basically.
Oh, God. How are you suited for this sort of stuff?
Yeah, I've got proficiency in perception.
Okay, I do not. And also, with the curse, I am worse at perception recently.
Okay.
So it's basically intelligence or wisdom at this point, whichever one is.
I'm just getting distracted. So maybe is this something I could just help Altheya with?
You could, but then you'll only obviously get one source of information.
Right, okay.
So
it's worth trying. Both, yeah.
You've got your dice as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's either do you guarantee more, do you try and get a better chance of success in getting some information, or do you try and split your attention and gamble on getting more information?
Yeah.
Are we the gambling type, Ree?
We never
What would we do?
Just as a point.
I think we'd go for the security, right? We're going for 2.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're gambling.
Are you spending any fate points?
Yes.
I'll
So
spend
what were the
fate.
checks? Sorry, perception, history,
Or investigation. All right, just as a point, if you're both spending a fate point, that's going to max me out, so.
It is, and we've got a dinner to go to.
That's true. But we want the information.
All right. So add a d6.
Okay. So I'll go for, I guess, a history check. And
I'll go perception.
All right. Sure.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. What are we talking?
8.
8 total.
11.
11 total.
13.
13.
Total.
Not a huge success, but also not terrible. You basically spend all of your time and don't quite glean, you don't find any super juicy gossip, but you'd get 2 pieces of information, I think, here. You would find out that
They killed Tyria.
I knew it.
It all links together.
Tobias Leto he's quite an older gentleman. He's the last one of his family. He doesn't have any heirs. He never married. He didn't have any children. His family, his parents died, a long time ago. His brother died when he was quite young. So he's the only member of his family. He worked as a relatively small-time, like, clerk, like a blacksmith's apprentice for a long time. And then about sort of 20 years ago, he started up the Lamplighters Guild. Well, no, the guild would be older than that. He moved into the Lamplighters Guild.
Right.
So he transferred guilds from the blacksmiths to the Lamplighters Guild. And he basically began creating these like new innovations to kind of take a very low, not very wealthy, not very well loved guild, which was kind of seen as a bit of a sort of like afterthought, you know. And he started developing like magical lights and started, bringing in all these new ideas. He's very wealthy. He owns property. He has like the Pharos is, in his name, the actual tower itself. But he also has a manor up in the richer district, up in the Duskrise district,
Which is where we're heading to, right?
For the dinner, I believe, is at the Pharos.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
yes,
the Pharos, the dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. He has like he's bought like shares in like other businesses and things like that around the town. And this be the main information you find out. You would also actually find out one piece of information that you might find out. The other piece of information that you would find out is that Tobias Leto knows Sunsword Ilkara very, very well. Tobias actually basically paid for Sunsword Ilkara when she was younger, and like helped her get her set up on her feet here in Ashland's Rest. Like he actually owns her house and things like that, and has been like a sort of a father figure in her life, and helped her basically become the person that she is today.
And that was the person we immediately got bad vibes from. Okay. But nothing...
Oh, and heavy donations to the church as well. Like, Tobias makes lots of donations to the Church of Pyrrhus, like the main Brightshadow Cathedral.
Okay, but potentially
Very pious.
one of the original, like, architects of the first magical lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. One of them, not the sole one, but him and another group of Lamplighters, which would be include Morris Goldsight and like the chief illuminator who's missing, and a few others as well.
Okay. But would be able to identify anything that's gone wrong with recent ones. Maybe better than anyone else that we know.
Maybe.
So that's good. But otherwise, on the up and up. What a chill, cool guy.
Yep.
Not going to murder us.
Gives to charity, big part of the community.
Okay.
Very influential.
Goes to church.
Well, I found nothing, I guess, not incriminating, but untoward.
Yes, potentially. Seems very influential on the town.
If they are a honest and valuable resource, then we could at least maybe throw some ideas about the at least current versions of the lights at him and see what he thinks.
Constructive feedback.
I'm going to remind you, you don't have any of those lanterns. They are
Give
all
them
with
up
the
for evidence.
authorities.
Oh, that's true. But we could at least, like, maybe talk about something. I don't know.
Just as a reminder, you don't physically have any of the discs on the lights. They were all taken by the authorities.
We might be able to describe it. Or, like,
Yeah, you
say,
could describe it.
Yeah. We found this in these, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, unfortunately with those rolls, don't gain much more information from that.
They would know the main production line of the lanterns as well.
Yes, they would.
As in how they make them.
How they make them, where they're made.
Yeah,
And I guess
absolutely.
where potentially adjustments could be made. I imagine the discs are made in a completely separate place.
Maybe.
But still.
As you kind of wrap up your thing, you can see that the poor teacher and the lawkeeper have managed to cajole the children. Things are kind of in disarray, but they begin making their leave. The teacher, the sort of cat-ear, the wild heart, kind of catches your attention at one point, and as the lawkeeper's kind of funneling the children out, she actually rushes over and is... let me just get my notes up here for a minute. Where is it?
I think if we're walking towards the exit, any books on the floor I'd pick up and try to
Like put on the pile that's being formed.
not putting them away, but
I'm so sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Excuse me. I'm in a bit of a rush. Are you sort of adventuring types? I've not seen you in town before, and I've heard that there's a group that have been sort of dealing with things in the town.
yes, we've helped out in certain places before.
And do you know you've done things like magic and you've been to strange places and
Yes.
and you can do things like fighting and you've encountered monsters before?
Oh, we have.
One or two, yes.
Wonderful. Would you be considered? We have some paid opportunities to come and do some talks at the school, and we're looking potentially for people who can take the children on little expeditions and things like that. It's paid. It's not for free. Would you be interested? I could give you some information.
Oh, wait, taking the children on an expedition?
Well, we do little things here and there. You know, in the future we might be able to schedule one, but also just come in and doing talks about things. Children are ever so interested in a variety of subjects.
I could talk to him about my home.
Oh, God.
Where are you from?
I'm from Osseous.
I don't know. Is that...
It's across the sea.
Oh, my goodness, that would be most wonderful. That would be delightful to have.
I would love to inspire their young minds.
Oh, that's exactly what we're looking for, indeed. Oh, and she brings out like a little business card, and it has Ignaxa Academy of Schooling, Miss Visa Feyre, and she's just like, yes, if you let myself or the headmaster Hawks know that we've spoken to you, but yes, please come on down, and we'd love to have a chat about you coming and doing a paid talk.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'd be most honoured.
Wonderful, thank you so much, lovely, thank you. Oh, Timmy, come back, and then just chases after them.
If that's how you want to earn a little bit of money, talking to children, it's not for me.
Well, it's thinking about the future.
Sure.
How are you, by the way? I haven't checked in on you for a while.
How am I?
How's your hand?
Oh, okay, let's leave here first and maybe go to a quieter place,
Okay, by all means.
if this is what you wish to discuss
I
so
just
openly.
haven't checked in on you for a while. I just
No,
wanted to
I-
know how you were doing, and the curse business, dreadful.
It's awful. I'm sorry if I've been so distracted. It's there's a lot going on at the moment. But no, my hand is. I mean, has there been any like developments?
It's not changed.
It's still
Still
what it is.
glowy, still flamey.
Oh yes, scarred and cracked and yep, exactly as you remember it.
Yes.
What's this smile?
Nothing. I was just checking. I'm glad you're okay.
Okay, and you've been good since the scarred lady.
Just small matter of undead.
Well,
As well, I would like to smash this cavern over the head, but
oh yes, yes. Well, hopefully they found out some information about it. But
so.
I'm just impressed that you managed to come out of this unscarred.
well, not without
Whereas
your
me
help.
and me and Rowan seem to have been hit by it quite hard.
Yes, you do seem to have bore the brunt of that little excursion.
But you don't know anything about removing these curses. There's, I presume, ghosts in your lands.
Would I?
So, I mean, you know that, yeah, like spectral undead are capable of doing things, but also lots of other kinds of like undead are able to deliver curses. The touch of one of the liches, some of the House of Runes, the mummies can deliver terrible curses as well. There's the curse of the Banshee, and you've encountered many of these things. In Osseous, it would be the responsibility of like the local priests in the House of Blood, like the sanguine priests, to remove these kind of curses. Like it happens, there are skirmishes sometimes between the houses, but generally they're not supposed to fight each other. So it's very rare that these curses afflict, the citizens of Osseous. You would know that like there are rebels that fight against the houses, and that the spectral undead go and unleash these curses on them and things like that. Like that happens, but in terms of how to remove them, you would normally just go seek out, the Countess or one of the sanguine priests, and that would be done. If you were to have that problem.
Yes, grisly business, curses, but
Yes. Yeah.
all work of the undead, and I'm afraid it would be up to.
What was that?
Sorry, I dropped my coffee.
It'd be priests and priestesses, I believe, that could
Okay.
remove such ailments.
Okay, well, hopefully something we will solve soon.
We'll get to the bottom of it.
Yes. And your hunger? How in check is that?
Waterskin's getting a little low.
You did
feed on one of the carpenters,
Couple
I
of
think.
days
yeah.
ago,
Well,
yeah.
a couple of
Also-
days ago, yeah.
while you were.
Oh, yeah. I guess Ophelia wouldn't know that. Yeah.
You
Oh.
did take
I
a.
did wonder about this because would Nim have done anything?
It is a case of, I think, because like you didn't get like knocked down, like you did fight
Right.
her off eventually. Yeah, there was no threat that like
Okay.
you were gonna turn or anything like that. You know.
Okay.
For you, it was a case of she bit your arm and you quickly got her off. Right.
But it wasn't
Like,
feeding. It was
wasn't
just
feeding,
It was
an
just a
attack.
bite.
yeah.
But I guess from my perspective, you did. I say you, the scarred lady
Yes.
in your body, did bite Daisy's arm.
Yes.
You remember this?
I don't remember doing it, but yes, Daisy did remind me, and I was horrified.
But was that?
What, my dear?
I don't think you would like the scarred lady wouldn't know to feed,
Yeah.
so she just bit. She didn't actually like drink the blood.
No, I didn't drink any of her essence.
Right. Okay. So we might need to resolve this somewhat soon.
Potentially, yes.
Okay. Okay. Good.
I'll let you know when I start getting hungry.
You're looking at me in a very particular way.
I'm just curious about you.
Me specifically, or just
Yes.
people in general?
No, I'm just very curious about you.
Okay. Well, I trust you, Ophelia.
I trust you too.
So if there's anything you wish to know, within reason,
I mean, what kind of reason? How far may I pry?
depends what the questions are.
What's going on
In general?
with you?
Oh,
Those priestesses seemed very interested in you.
Inquisitors.
Yes, those ones. The very scary ones.
they might actually be able to help me. They said that I might be able to visit them and they might be able to find out more. I just don't know if I can trust them. Do you trust them?
No, did you see the way they looked at me?
Well, yes, you did, however.
It was all in good faith.
Your good faith is not their good faith.
Well, I didn't ask for a blessing from them and I received it with grace.
Yes, but, I mean, we've seen how even just the name of our tavern was enough to stir up anger.
Well, I need to loosen up a little bit.
Maybe.
It's just a name.
It's just a name. But they offered help. If you don't trust them, then maybe I shouldn't trust them.
It may be. I may just have preconceived notions about other religious factions that impose their own beliefs on their own citizens, so militantly, should I say.
And when you give talks to these children,
Educational,
educational?
yes.
Not.
They can make up their own mind.
Okay, okay. That's
They're
helpful.
children, Xanthias, not
I
a
know.
monster.
No, I know. It's just you're thinking about the future, as you
Yes.
said. Just as long as it's not conversion as much as just, yeah, you know?
No.
The word I was about to say, educational.
Yes.
All right. As you guys finish up this conversation, you pretty much make your way back to the enticing devil. Rowan and Daisy, you guys have made your way back as well from your investigations, and you guys sync back up. Very lovely little tower. You bored? Do we need to, you know? No. You okay?
It is a,
Dice.
it is a very tall dice tower, I will say.
Quite tall.
What's that, 9 deep? Oh my God.
Is that what made the noise?
Yeah.
That's what made the noise. It was an old man dropping his coffee.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
How did it go?
Well, we honestly not a huge amount of information about at least
Very
Tobias.
mundane information.
Yeah, seems like a good person. Nothing that suggests that we should be concerned, to be honest.
Right. Really?
No. Gives to charity, shares in multiple companies, has been with the Lamplighters for around 20 years. is potentially one of the original architects of the lights themselves, so it could give us some good information about their intended construction.
Well, that's very reassuring. So that means we can actually just enjoy our meal without worrying that we're getting ourselves stuck into something.
Yes.
Because I'm very hungry.
Okay, good. Oh, also, Ophelia's going to teach some children about Osseous.
I am.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, it's so exciting.
How did that happen?
I'm
We
very curious. as
went to the House of the Quill and Scale. There were children there being, I want to say corralled, maybe not successfully, by a teacher there. And they recognized us as adventurers, mercenaries who had seen a lot of the world, and asked us to give some talks about our adventures, our journeys. You might do very well in this.
Yes.
Here's her card if you'd like to give a talk as well.
And there'd be
Be
You could sing them a song.
I could provide some backing music. Get
And
them
Daisy,
into
you could show
music.
them your art. Your delightful art.
I'm just curious if teaching the young children about the House of Blood is maybe a bit scary for them.
They would be very.
I love scary stories when I'm young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, there's Vault Spawn out there. There's all kinds of horrors. It would just desensitize them to the real horrors of Altheya.
Okay. But there is a small financial reward if you do intend to do this. So
Well, then we can pay for your curses to be removed.
potentially,
Well, how much?
I don't.
Don't know how much yet. Yeah.
Well, we don't have anything. So
It won't be like
anything helpful.
hundreds of gold.
Yes.
Well, it sounds
Anything
like
helpful?
a lovely way to involve ourselves in Ashen Rest in a way that isn't killing gnolls and that sort of thing.
Yes, just
Unless we do that and show them how adventurous really.
We get a knoll's head and we go,
Here's a gnoll's head.
well, maybe
No.
no.
I would have loved that as a kid.
really
Yes.
a gnoll's head.
Yes.
Really,
I don't think
Yes.
that the teacher would like to bring a Vault Spawn demon enemy corpse to a classroom.
not that we could deal with anything like that anyway.
It would be dead.
Hopefully, we find it dead.
Yes.
There is a null problem, so we probably wouldn't find it dead. We would
Oh, I mean the
find
vaults.
it.
Yeah, gnolls are vault
Oh
spawn.
yeah, of course they are.
Yeah.
Well-
they're a type of vault spawn. With this conversation, you guys wrap up. If you guys want to roleplay, you can, but otherwise we'll jump ahead to you guys making your way to the Pharos. I see.
Share all info.
Yeah.
Right.
I press that button.
Gets in his fancy suit that he wore for the Duke.
Okay. Yep.
Unwashed.
You guys get ready, you get changed, you head on over. The Pharos at night is one of the kind of blazing beacons of Ashen's Rest. Like it is, the light atop it is brighter than anything else in the city, and it kind of creates this dull glow that provides illumination all around. The lower floors of the guild are being closed off. You can see things like workshops and exhibits and things like that are being closed off to the public. But when you arrive, you are met by a couple of the Lamplighter's private guards. They have completely private mercenaries that are their guards here. They seem to be expecting you. They say, "Ah, yes, you're the guests of the guildmasters tonight. Yes, please come with us. They've secured the dining room at the top floor. Follow us."
Thank you.
They lead you upstairs. In fact, actually, there would be a sort of rudimentary kind of elevator, like one of those old school ones that doesn't. It just has like a cage, and then it's like a winch kind of thing. But it's all automated by magic, using like a magical winch, like a tensor's floating disc, and then like it uses like a platform kind of thing. And you guys make your way up to the top. When you emerge out, you can see the wealth of the Lamplighters Guild really on display here. Excellent, perfect precision stonework, gorgeous fabric drapes hung. Everything is decorated to show off its affluence and wealth. Magical lights everywhere you can see, of all different colors and shapes and sizes, creating these beautiful scintillating patterns. The floor is actually polished as like a stone, and it has magical lights built into it, so it looks like you're almost walking on a bed of starlight as you make your way down around a circular building to a door that leads into an inner chamber. Inside is a large dining table with enough places for 5 of you, so there'd be a space for Gruff, plus the 2 others who are basically sat down. Looks like they're in the middle of a conversation just as you are announced by the guard who brings you up. Like, Guildmasters, I have the individuals that you sent for, that you sent the invitation to. And you see sat down an old human man. He's kind of got the classic, like, friar's kind of, like, balding, like, haircut, like, bald on top, but, like, a little bit of hair around here. Grown long, very luxuriously kept, but definitely the age kind of taking the hair away from the top of his head. A close clipped beard, very well manicured and groomed, but you can see that he's definitely older in age. Very, very fine jacket and vest with like a pocket watch. And he kind of looks over to you, like long, slendered fingers, and he's just like, oh, hello, welcome, please, come in. Forgive me if I don't stand. My knees aren't quite what they used to be. But you see the woman next to him, she's a little bit younger, maybe more in sort of like human ages. She would be around sort of like mid-40s, mid-50s. But she's a halfling, tight brown hair, slicked back into a high ponytail, wearing another kind of similar well-dressed outfit. This would be almost like an evening gown, but with like a shawl around her shoulders. And she doesn't stand. She sort of delicately places her hand on the table and she just nods in your direction. Doesn't really show any sign of any formal greeting, and her stare is quite icy towards you. But Tobias, Leto, just kind of smiles. He's cauldron, like tan skin, deep set wrinkles. You know, this is a man who's probably spent a lot of his time actually outside or in like, working. But now he's living this very affluent life. And he's just like, please, come in, have a seat. He'll like gesture over. He'll be like, Marco, please, if you could send word to the kitchen staff to begin our courses, and make sure we have some wine. And would you care for anything else to drink? Preference for ale or spirits or anything else? We can have whatever you want.
Oh, wow. Gonna have some sparkling water.
We can manage that, I'm sure. We have been. I've had a few experimentations with adding bubbles to juices and water and things like that. I'm sure we could do something like that. Yes.
Wow.
Of course.
I think I'll join you in the wine.
Well, you are in Cauldra. It is the land of wine. Yes, I've got a very fine vintage here that we can open. What about yourself? Our guest from such far climes.
Oh, thank you for the gracious invite.
You are most welcome, sister.
Yes, thank you.
Would wine be all right?
Oh yes, cauldron red if you have any.
Oh, of course. We are in the North Vale. We have fine wine here. Yes,
Delightful.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And what about you, my dear?
Could I just have some water, please?
Of course. We'll have a pitcher brought out. Would you care for? I quite like to enjoy it with a bit of lemon in the water.
No.
Yes. Would that be?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
That sounds phenomenal.
He'll gestures, and the guard is like, "Of course, Guildmaster. Yes, absolutely. We'll just be outside if you need anything, but otherwise we'll leave you to your conversation." And he shuts the door. He's like, "Oh, he's very good, Marco. He's been with me for a while now." Please, you see, like, Rowan is playing with the cutlery. Stop fucking playing with your dice. That's a teacher warning. Pay attention.
Yes,
Right. There are plates and settings for all of you. The light is sort of ever so slightly dimmed. There are windows that look out onto the town of Ashenrest from up high. It gives you this gorgeous. It's almost like a restaurant that's got one of those huge windows that like looks out on the city, and it just this twinkling city of all the different little everlights coming on, the red tiled roofs all below you, with the ducal palace with the Dominus Ignarum. You can see it so clearly from up here. It's this gorgeous view of the hills and the river behind it.
Was this the tallest tower in Ashen's
The Pharos is currently the tallest tower. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's something of a competition. Like,
Yeah.
you're always trying to build higher, but this is currently the tallest one. It's technically just below the Dominus Ignarum, but only because the Duke's dome, like where he flies in and out, just peaks it.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like an unwritten rule that you're not allowed to go taller than the Dominus Ignarum, right? Like you have to always be lower than the Duke, but this is very close.
They're pushing the limit.
They are certainly pushing the limit. Nobody else is as bold, it seems. But he says, like, it's a wonderful view. Please take it in.
Stunning.
Yes, it is quite. It is quite. It's been a good number of years to get us to this point, but I'm very proud of what we've accomplished. Janya, please introduce yourself. It's just like a pleasure. It's nice to meet you. I am Guildmaster Janya Cooper. A pleasure.
Yes, a pleasure to meet you both as well.
I don't want to be rude. I have heard some of your names from some others, but would you do me the honor of telling me your own names? I never like to refer to people based on what I've heard from others. I like to call people by the names they've given me.
I'm Daisy.
Hello, my dear. Hello.
Xanthias.
Xanthias.
I'm Rowan. Hello.
Hello, Rowan.
I'm Sister Ophelia Della Rosa
Sister
of
Ophelia.
the House of Blood.
Wonderful to meet you. Wonderful to meet you. I'm sad that your companion, the Wild Heart, could not join us.
They may yet arrive.
Yeah. Perhaps running a little late.
Perhaps. But what is it you have heard of us from others?
I mean, I was there, you know, I did not linger too long, but I heard of you presented a duke's favor to the Duke Ignarius, and that is no small feat. You performed some sort of heroic deed in Burnell. And then, again, here in Ashen Rest. I mean, the reason that I have brought you here today is very much because I wish to talk to you about the incident in Riverside. But of course I've heard of that and your heroic actions there to protect the people and deal with this horrid thing. But also that you have been, making the rounds in town. You have met with various important people. I know that you visited our friends at the Stonemasons Guild, and yes, I mean it's a large town, but a man in my position we hear a lot of things. So I feel like I know you quite well, but
We've been trying to make a name for ourselves. It's an honor to know that our efforts are not in vain, but
I've certainly accomplished that, I can assure you.
well, we've been attempting to accept any jobs that might come our way, and the Lamplighters caught our eye at one of the boards.
Well, that is indeed, and thank you for bringing me to that matter, for that is something I wish to address with you. And he pulls just out of like his pocket, almost like a leather kind of like folded wallet, and he opens it and reveals 6 platinum, like thin sheets, like bars, like thin long bars of platinum, 6 of them. And he says, I understand that you had taken a contract and you were to protect one of our engineers, one of our illuminators as they were repairing these lights. And then this affair with this thing happened. And I learned that you had not come to collect payment, perhaps thinking that you had not accomplished the task. But I think it is only fair, if it were not for this awful business, you would have easily accomplished this task. You were defending our engineer as appropriate, and well, I feel that it is only appropriate that you be paid for that work. He pushes the little leather wallet in your direction.
I mean, how much is? What was
It would be 200 gold per light, so that it would be about 600 gold, and those sheets of platinum would probably be 100 gold each, so it'd be about 600 gold.
Oh, have mercy on me.
It seems only right that you would have accomplished the job if it were not for this terrible thing that happened. And it is thanks to you that it has come to light. It has been brought to our attention so that it can be resolved.
That is most generous of you.
Oh, no, not at all. I firmly believe in that if a man or woman does good work, they should be paid. They should get their reward.
I do hope the halfling that was with us is doing all right.
Teresa, is she okay?
Yes, illuminated Laventail, yes. She has been, she's being held by the authorities, by the authorities, which is
only right, as they must conduct their investigation. Please rest assured, I am doing everything I can to make sure that anyone who is innocent is not held accountable. I unfortunately have to only go by what the authorities determine. My understanding is that there is still some possibility that Illuminator Lavendale may be involved in this matter. When you say this, you are kind of talking, you see...
Fate dice.
I did spend a fate dice. For podcast listeners, spent a fate dice. You see Janya Cooper, the other guild master, like folds her arms and is like glaring in all of your directions. But Tobias just says like, yes, it is my belief that there is some... the authorities want to make sure that the Illuminator at Lavendale is not involved in any of this. So she is being held in custody. I am doing my best. My own personal authority, I've sent for the best from Kelskaris, but it may take them some time to arrive, to plea on her defense.
Yes, and we've obviously given our witness report to the High Authority, claiming that of what little we know of her, she was extremely innocent in the proceedings, and awful what did happen to her.
She was terrified.
Yes. There was the authorities said that there was some belief that maybe it was she was afraid, and that triggered something or some matter with these sabotaged Everlights. Janya Cooper leans in, and just so we're clear, you had never met this Teresa Lavendale before your job. You got this job, right? You did not know each other before then.
No, we're
very new to the town.
Yes, but people can have connections even before they meet in person. But it's just strange to me that a group of strangers from outside of Ashen Rest, outside of the Dragon Empire, come, and then these strange discs are found, and there's some business with some affair going on, and it's just a little suspicious.
I'm afraid these discs predate our arrival in Ashen's Rest.
According to
me.
Convenient. You can see that she's just sort of like, and Tobias is like, Janya, please. We talked about this.
Tobias, if I may.
Yes, please, Rowan.
As we are, I'm going to say it, quite huge fans of your work.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. It's not all mine. I can't take all the credit. I had a few ideas here and there, but it was a team of us.
You know, we know that 20 years ago you stepped into the Lamplighters Guild in its fledgling days, and you know, you've
done some research on me, I see. It
seems a little bit.
A little each way, I
suppose. Not to when you see the Pharos Tower and you think, how did that get there?
Yes, no.
Either way, you know, you developed this technology.
Oh, I helped, yes. I mean, it was, I was a blacksmith for a long time, and I was very unhappy in that guild and everything else, but really it was working, it was meeting Morris and meeting many of the others that we formed a team, you know, in our spare time we would tinker with things. I used to, not so much anymore, age is unfortunately catching up with me, but I used to be very good with my hands, and we dreamed about what was possible, you know, combining magic and skill. And we thought about it, and you know, it was at the time such a simple idea. You know, there are spells to create lights, but they require resources, and once they are gone, they go out. You can't automate them or anything like that. And so there was a few of us, and we put the ideas together. And now, really, it's been wonderful to have the resources and the time to experiment, figure a few things out.
Please tell me that original crew with Morris is still here and working with you.
Sadly, Morris and I are the only ones remaining. We're all getting on in our years. Some of them fell to sickness. Others, unfortunately, to the likes of bandits whilst traveling. You know, it is a dangerous world out there.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, it is all right. You know, when you get to, and he's like in his early 70s, late 60s. He's like, when you my age, you start accepting that time is running out. Well, hopefully I've got a bit more time in me yet. I feel like I've just begun my career and my life. I feel like, it's only 20 years ago, as I said, that I really brought this all to bear, and I feel like I've barely had time to enjoy it, but...
Well, if I can attest to anything, so much can be done in such little time.
Well, I hope so.
Look at what we've done. As arriving in Ashen's Rest, so much has happened to us.
Oh, indeed, you are. I think that you are exactly the sort of people that we need in Ashen's Rest. You're so full of courage and bravery and ambition and everything. Wonderful,
please.
Very wonderful.
You make me blush.
Oh, no.
Either way, Janya quite rightly raises this disc thing. And that's something that we discovered as well while we were helping Teresa with the Lamplighter's defense. We obviously were incredibly surprised and taken aback by this horrible creature that came seemingly out of nowhere and possessed the poor halfling. And we wanted equally, because we were quite inquisitive, to find out what was going on and whether other people could be harmed. And so we took it upon ourselves to look at the broken light and see if there's anything untoward. And we also discovered this disc, which we handed over as evidence.
Yes, there was some reports of it. I mean, when they came here, they were asking us about these discs, but I've not seen them.
And it's not something that is in the technology of all the lights.
No. I mean, there is a compartment. We have sort of a small power source. We use some elemental essence and things like that to power the lights. Sometimes when they break, they need to be repaired and replaced. So there is a compartment, that one could tamper with, I suppose. I imagine that's what these discs are, something that replaces the normal power source.
Something I hyper-focused, I'm sorry, and I really researched you, Tobias, because I'm not very smart, but I'm fascinated by the technology. How is it that you utilize technology to make the lights stay on?
Well, it's a rather complex matter. It involves the use of magical essences, and there is a sort of ley line of power here in Ashen Rest, one that we've established over many years. And what it does is, normally there are spells that can create a permanent light. It is the difficulty in maintaining them, but also automating them for when the sun goes down and activating them in sequence and things like that, that we need to engage with. So it is a process of drawing on these sort of primal energy forces that we use to power the lights. The Earth, there is a general energy to our world, and it is drawn from there, really. Like I said, there is a sort of nexus of power within this land, and it is just a matter of learning to tap into it and draw upon it and things like that.
Much like a water wheel. Takes the flow of water and
yes, one could
makes
call
it spin.
Like that. Yes, something like that. Yes. Well, we have the heated pools here in Caldra for the bathhouses and things like that. They're heated by a geothermal spring. There is a sort of source of heat and magma, and then that heats the water and so forth. They're sort of similar to that in a way.
Fascinating.
Yes. I feel we're talking all this business here. And
sorry, I got carried away.
Oh, of course, and we have fine company. Food is being brought in at this point. It is a variety of cauldron dishes. You have like grilled vegetables with like a kind of sprinkled salt. There is like fresh breads are brought in. Sliced meats, like a charcuterie kind of thing, is laid out for everybody. A mixture of things for different diets and things like that. Wine is brought in, all the water and drinks, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. Janya is icily quiet throughout most of it, and is just kind of like uncomfortably present, and does not seem to like you being here, but is not saying anything directly.
It's very obvious, though.
She's making no illusions that she does not like you being
I think that even after what she said to Xanthias, there was like a fire in his chest that started to grow a little bit that was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're suspicious of us, are you? Okay, okay. What do you mean by that, Janya?
Listen, I mean, if you want to bring it up, you can do, but like...
Eventually.
You know, I think the conversation between Rowan and Tobias, this very sort of like, that kind of like dominated the conversation for a little bit, and like it kind of falls silent for a little bit.
between the two.
There's like a not super subtle, like that hit Xanthias quite in a weird way.
Yeah.
It hit on his pride, I'd say.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Tobias, sort of as you begin eating, Tobias will actually turn to you, Ophelia. My dear, thank you. It is quite an honor to have somebody from outside of the Empire. You are the first guest of your homeland that I've been able to entertain. It is quite interesting. If I do not know much of Osseous, but you do not follow the Scions and the Saints, is that?
No, I do not, no.
You have your own belief.
Yes.
Fascinating. What would this affair with this, I do not even wish to say its name, but this creature that came from, how would this be dealt with in your country? Do you have people that... Do you have authorities? Do you have people that enforce laws and things like that?
We have people of higher authority than ourselves that maintain control over the land and its laws.
And have your people ever encountered these other, like these... And he makes the sign of like the sun. He's like, demons and devils. Have you ever encountered these things before?
They can occur, I suppose, like they can occur in Altheya. They can crop up, but they're...
But your faith is that?
we don't worship devils and demons. No.
You stand against them.
We fight against them. Yes.
Do you think that your people have a strong moral character and you are able to resist it?
Oh yes, 100%, yes.
I mean, that is what I hope of the Empire. You know, we're very devout people, and whilst we may differ on our opinions, I know that there are some who are very zealous in their beliefs and things like that. It was my hope that the people of Altheya would never dream of, the people of the Empire would never dream of associating with these creatures of this like.
Yet they do show up.
Yes. A weakness, perhaps. A weakness in their spirits. A shame. A terrible shame.
Although I don't think pointing the finger at her is right, if that is what you're insinuating, that her faith is
Heavens, no.
somewhat led her astray.
Heavens, no, by all means. I think that, I mean, it seems that you said that she was quite scared and terrified. Perhaps it is we who have failed her, have not shown her that there is nothing to be afraid of, that she would have been safe and protected.
Or that she was just simply out of her depth and she didn't know what she was getting herself into.
Yes, a belief in herself perhaps is lacking, but no, I did not mean to insinuate anything of the sort. No, it is my dearest hope that we can help the Illuminator with this matter.
Well, I hope so. I don't think prison will be a very pleasant place for her to be right now.
No, well, I must say I do not know if things are different in your homeland, but if she has been involved with these creatures, I think that jail would not be, she would not be sent off to a labor prison. It would be execution, I imagine. And at this point, Janya is just like, ugh. She's like, when Tobias says that, she's like, ugh, like disgusted by it. Like, you know, there's like this anger that builds up in her, and she's just like, for you and your saints and scions, Tobias, just stop with the religious crap for a second here. You know, she's just like, look, for all we know, this Illuminator and these people are the ones who have summoned this thing and are now bringing our guild, our hard work into disrepute. Why are we even here? And she's like mad about it.
Why indeed are you here, Janya?
Because my fellow guildmaster asked me to come and meet with the people he thinks are helping. But all you've done is make people lose faith in something I have worked immensely hard for.
We've done no such thing. We just discovered what's happening.
So you say. How do we know that you've not been paid off by one of these other guilds, by the stonemasons or the blacksmiths to try and disrepute us?
As I said, these discs we found predate our arrival in Ashen's Rest. We found some from 4 years ago.
Show me proof.
I use my performance of creation, and I'm going to perfectly recreate the disc and float it in front of Janya.
Fucking God King.
She like looks at it.
This is
It's physical, right? She can pick it
I can
up and
create
stuff.
an object.
Well, I mean, surely you're just showing me that you can create the exact thing that you say you claim to find.
Yes.
You could have made this. You could have been the ones who inserted these and brought this demon or devil or whatever it was.
These are all very accusatory.
Can I
Yes.
show her? I think Daisy did a sketch of it when we picked it out of the first lamp. Can I just show her my sketch as well and say, this is from what we saw. We haven't brought these with us.
What are you hoping for? You're showing me that you know exactly what these things are, that you could have made them. The only proof that you have that you aren't the ones who did it is your word that you found them 4 years ago. Who are you to give me your word? Who are you? A dragonborn? What family are you from?
I am Xanthius of Host Oregon, and I am
I'm going to spend a fate dice, but
telling the truth here. We discovered these things. It's why we're able to recreate their likeness so well.
Oregon, that's no cauldron host. Like,
It isn't. A host from Gildai, but
she's just like, now we have another dragon host, another province. Of course they want to distribute us. Like, she's just like, this is ridiculous, Tobias. If you want to speak to these people, you're more than welcome to. And she gets up to leave. And she throws the disc on the ground. She's just like, I've heard enough.
If you really cared about the guild that you worked so hard on, you would help us to find out what's happening with it.
I don't need your help to do that. I'm doing my own work. I don't trust you. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And then she leaves.
Oh.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Janya is very protective of the guild, and she is very suspicious of outsiders. She does not have as open mind as I do. I am deeply sorry.
It is fine. No.
It is not fine. It is not fine, Rowan. That is very kind of you to say, but it is not fine. I may have to speak with the others. It may be time that we consider taking Janya out of her position as guildmaster.
I think it's important that we focus on what's important here, and that is that something bad is happening.
Yes.
And that,
Now that we are alone, may I confide a little in you?
please.
I am worried about Morris. He is an old friend of mine, our chief illuminator. I genuinely, in my heart, do not believe that Morris would willingly work with these. I do not believe that Morris would purposely develop something that could be involved in all of this, but he has gone missing, and he was the last one to speak with Teresa Lavendale. I'm afraid that he's being blackmailed or coerced or something. I worry that he may be dead.
How long has he been missing for?
That is just the thing. I saw him the day just before the authorities came that afternoon, and by the evening, when they came to us first thing in the morning to investigate, Morris was missing. I said goodbye to him. He went to his chambers and then he vanished.
Do you know any places that he goes frequently? Anyone that he talks to regularly that we could maybe talk to?
He mainly stayed within the Pharos. He was so dedicated to his work. Hell, that said, there was something. Mentioned a place. Yes, there was somewhere he was going for business arrangements. Afraid I don't know much more than that. It was outside of Ashen Rest is all I can tell you. But it was rare for him to leave. I do not believe he would have left of his own accord.
What?
Maybe it could have. He traveled somewhere. It was a few days he was missing. And long before, Pharos maybe, or perhaps even beyond Emberford, to the south at least.
Why are you bringing this to us and not to the authorities?
Well, the authorities are currently treating Morris as a suspect. He's my oldest friend. I do not believe him to be involved in the way that they think that he is. I mention this now to all of you in the hopes that maybe you can find him before they do, prove that he is not involved, that he's a victim in all of this.
It's not a terrible idea. We don't want people to be throwing around baseless accusations.
No. What do you know about these discs and what actually happened?
Very little. I know that there was some sort of disc, something that was placed in the light, that it conjured some sort of smoke creature. I've heard the word demon and devil mentioned. But that is all, I'm afraid.
We know a little more based on our research.
I'm spending fate dice.
Okay.
Looking at these discs, there are markings hidden inside. the
He
disc.
picks up like the creation that you said that this is one that you found before.
Yes, it's not my best work, but it's pretty accurate.
Based on what I know of it, like how accurate is it?
It's like
100%.
Yeah.
Like Rowan can create a perfect recreation of something as long as he's
Okay, cool.
familiar with it.
Yeah.
Like, so it's the prototype one you created, like the 4 years ago one, right? Yeah. So he's looking at it like, yes, I can see how this could be placed where the usual conductor, we would call it, an elemental conductor that normally draws on the primal power. This is something else. So it fits similar in design, but different.
This is unfortunately tapping into energies and connecting itself to the twin pits.
Saints and scions. Makes the sign of the sun over himself. This is terrible.
Not only did it create that demon, sorry to say the word, but the light itself. Poor Teresa was in that light with this disc, and it was causing her emotions to run rampant. She got more and more panicked.
My goodness.
That's why some citizens got really angry. It heightens emotions.
This is
Negative emotions specifically.
Well, thank goodness that you found them and you've disabled them for now. But I mean, surely there would have been more reports of this if this was happening.
Could I do an insight check?
Sure.
See if can I use
Absolutely.
dice?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm too distracted. I'm boiling. Fucking Jen.
I think Jenny's gonna fucking die in her
21.
sleep.
21. Oh!
A
Whisper! Whisper!
Oh, I'm like,
And what do you reckon? I
I'm
reckon
seething.
Mark is currently telling Katie all about the Wandering Tavern and how awesome it is, and that you should all click the link.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's whispering that though.
I don't know why he's whispering
I
it.
feel
'cause
like everyone should know.
if I was talking about idle champions as well, I'd
That's
shout
true.
it out.
And that
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
code
And there's a code you can use to
And you
get
get 80 free chests.
tomorrow.
chests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah. Yeah.
And they're just, we've found 3 so far from
Can I...
years ago, and
Sorry.
Yeah.
While this is happening, can I please use one of my radiant dice, and I want to connect to Rowan and Xanthius because they're doing most of the talking, and say to them, he's hiding something, he's not telling the truth.
well, I think I would
This
be
is rehearsed.
mid-sentence, right? Like when I was saying.
Yeah, but you can continue that thought. Yeah.
I think there might be like a moment
There's
where
like a
I'm always
stutter or a
yeah.
stamina where you have to recover yourself.
I'll just say,
I'm spending a fate dice.
I'll say, this is rehearsed.
He's got a
We
fucking
need
gun.
to keep digging.
He's got a shooter. Yeah, I would finish the sentence of like, we've found 3, 1 in the bathhouse, 1 outside, etc., etc.
Terrible.
So yes, we believe there would be many more in the city if someone was to investigate all the lights.
Do you know about the enticing devil?
The old inn that was. I remember that there was the church quite rightly made. Was upset with the naming convention, and that there was some business. It was sold. I've heard that there's some rumors about ghosts and spirits and the like.
Yes, well, your lights may be responsible for the ghost that currently resides there.
Am I sorry? But how is that possible?
Well, Kavon was not a very nice man, and the aura that the lights produced may have heightened his emotions, and we suspect that he may have murdered his wife.
My my goodness! By the sights and sounds, that is quite a.
We found an early prototype of this disc in that light.
Still, that is quite a statement to make. Can you even be sure that he was under the effects of this, whatever it was? It could have just been that he was some nefarious ne'er-do-well, surely.
I've had direct contact with the lady who currently resides there.
I see.
She showed me what she saw, and if it's a coincidence, it's a very close one.
I see.
Surely it's not entirely out of the question, given how extreme Teresa's effects were from the lights, to think that it could have affected someone else, especially if it was an earlier version of the same discs.
Yes, very. Yes,
Also
you're right. Yes, it is possible. It is shocking, but possible.
The placement of these discs also seems to align with guilds.
This is all very important information. I think you have highlighted to me it is more important than ever that we find Morris. I think that he holds much of the information that is important to this. I could arrange for you to examine his quarters. I mean, the authorities have already been there, but...
Can we have dessert?
Yes, of course, yes, I can have that brought for you, but you could arrange to examine his quarters. Perhaps you might find something the authorities missed.
Sorry, while Altheya was speaking with him there, I wanted to, almost in my mind...
You can still talk to me.
Yeah.
Oh, how many hours? 1 hour.
1 hour?
Talk to me for an hour.
Okay, I just need 12 seconds.
Okay.
What do you mean? What is he hiding?
I don't know, but he's hiding something. This whole thing is rehearsed. I don't think this is the first time he's heard any of this, but he's acting like it is. He's acting like this is the first time that he's heard the full effects of it, and he's passing... He says that he doesn't think Morris is involved, and I don't know, there's a bad vibe. I think maybe
he already knows everything we're telling him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's like the way that he's like reacting to the stuff. Like Daisy was able to pick up that like he was just too quick to like the responses just didn't feel quite right and genuine. Whereas the rest of you are like, yeah, this seems pretty legit. Like, you know, he's on it.
Rowan's gonna say, and he's really bad at multitasking, so if he was speaking, he'd be like this.
Yeah.
This is bad, because now he knows we know everything.
I don't think we should. I think we should actually go and talk to Janya.
Oh, please.
With that, because we are pretty much out of time here, the sort of dessert is brought out, and Tobias will, this conversation's been going on while you've been eating. Tobias will say, I would be very grateful, and I would be willing to put my vast amounts of wealth and resources into helping find Morris. If you were able to do that, I could arrange for payments. If there is anything you need to help that investigation, consider it. I would be more than willing to pay for it. I seem to remember. Yes, he mentioned one thing. There is an old ruin not far from here. It was once a citadel that was between here and Gildai, and the ley lines of power within this land, the primal energies, are quite strong there. Morris always used to talk about it. Wonder if... No. But if you could search for him, I would be most grateful.
This party brings justice to light. We will do everything in our power.
Thank you. I'm pleased to hear this. I know that Ashen Rests and this guild are in good hands.
We are by your side, Tobias.
Thank you, my friend.
I wink really hard at the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Can I spend a fate dice? No. I spent one on mine. 2 more.
You hear the wink.
It's a really wet eyelid.
Huh? Right. And
Go on.
Just before we finish the episode, I
Sure.
would say that I would suggest that we refuse the money as well for the job, just in case it
Really?
would interfere with the investigation.
Or we could take it and spend it and get your curses
I
removed.
am wary of them cooking up some kind of lie about
600 gold.
cooking
sat
up
right there.
We will accept the gold once we're on the other side of the investigation, but for now, what's that?
It's the money. I'm offering it.
I know, Mark, and I want it, Mark.
First, you reject demon-infused loot.
I know. but
Now, platinum.
I don't trust.
100 gold.
I don't trust these. I would say like we can accept it on the other side of the investigation when everything is cleared up, but for now,
You're no Gildai.
I don't trust these people not to cook up some story.
Is everyone like, yep, cool with that?
Fair enough, yeah.
Rowan's taking it.
No.
All right. In that case, you don't get the 600 gold. I'm so sure. And with that, we're going to end today's episode. Thanks so much for joining us.
If they're good people, we'll get it on the other side.
Well,
I feel
we're
like
not gonna,
Gruffith
though.
would force us to not take it as well.
Well,
out of
yeah.
honour.
Gruff's
Gruff's
not there.
That is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Don't forget, thank you. A big one final thank you. I know you guys did a bit earlier, so I'm not going to repeat all the codes and stuff, but big thank you to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms and the Wandering Tavern, both of our sponsors. Check the links in the video description and in chat to go and check out both of those projects.
Yes.
And we will see you next time for more Altheya, the Dragon Empire. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.